Introducing from Austin, Texas, weighing 250 pounds, Killer Brooks.
Scanner and bar in purple haze, the great kabuki and the freebird Michael Hayes. Yet there was one that all beware, the man from Texas with the beard and crazy hair. He's the killer, Tim Brooks. Under the sheet, he learned to kill. He won the title, but he put it up for sale. He took on all in world class, and you can bet that fucker never took a bath. He's the killer, Tim Brooks.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Pie. Let's go around the table and introduce everybody, starting with the guy who is first.
My name is Sean, and the reason why you do not hear music in the background is because we're at my father's apartment doing this.
Live from the studio.
Apartment. We're gonna get sued.
Thank you, Coke.
But, I had a piece of this, what is this, New York cheesecake?
Yeah.
Yes.
This delicious New York cheesecake that Alan brought, and I'm not drinking coffee for I work in the morning.
Yeah, I've made the most miserable, terrible pot of coffee ever.
It's just, we're
just adding sweet stuff around. Like, I poured a bunch of cream soda in my coffee.
Some root beer. I am DeMarcus, as always. I as well.
What, Marcus? Sometimes.
You know, it depends if what the day is. It's Tuesday, so I'm DeMarcus. Yeah, I as well had some cheesecake. I am a cheesecake fan. I like it in my belly and all around me.
Me?
Yeah,
yes.
you.
All right, fantastic.
We are also going to add that this is Brad's first episode as an official member of the Coffee and Pie crew.
Yeah!
He was our special guest.
And there was much rejoicing.
And we graduated him because we need a guy the audience hates more than the rest of us.
And that is where I come in. I am Brad, and I'm excited to be here for my first episode. I also have a cup of what one could loosely refer to as coffee, and a slice of cheesecake. And I'm usually not a fan of cheesecake, but this is actually this is hitting the spot right now.
You like cheesecake?
Usually, I like the cheesecakes that are like, smothered in
Chocolate.
well, yeah, that and the fruit syrups and whatnot, and where you
Like
can't
fruit
really taste them. Hey, I see what you did
Mm-hmm.
there.
But,
You're so clever.
that's DeMarcus.
And we have a special guest if you're done.
Yeah.
Special guest, introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Tyler. and this is my first episode of Coffee and Pie, and I'm really happy to be here. Popping that cherry on the Coffee and Pie.
Alright.
I'm eating cheesecake and drinking coffee, and I can just feel myself getting fatter by doing this. And I also have some tea with
Welcome
me.
to the club.
Yeah. Go
Damn
guys.
it, I went out and bought coffee and cheesecake for all of us.
And it's delicious. It's really
That is a good pie.
cheesecake.
I am a cheese.
I'm sorry, cheesecake.
Thank you.
The coffee is awful,
It's the best coffee ever, man.
but I paid for it, damn
That's
it.
why we got sugar, and do we have cream?
The
Pure-
best sparkling.
Yep, we got cream. Check it out.
We can't put sugar in our coffees anymore because there's soda in them.
Oh, you good.
Who did that?
We did.
Oh, we did.
You guys are dumb.
That was good.
And I am Alan, your host with the most. Said it right.
Man, this is an episode of first today.
Right?
It's because we're not doing it at 3 in the morning.
Hopefully make the most this.
This episode's gonna not be funny because we're all like lucid.
I know what's going on.
And the topic of today's episode. Now, if you listened to last week's episode, you know what the topic is, but I have not uploaded it.
Man.
So
Where's the next coffee?
this
and
may
pie?
come as a surprise to you, but the topic of today's episode is professional wrestling.
Yeah.
We are all fans. Not so much Brad. Brad's kind of just getting into it.
I'm a fan. I'm just a new fan.
He'll learn. He'll
returning.
catch up.
Young fan.
He'll catch up.
He's returning, you know.
But we are all huge wrestling fans.
Yep.
Tyler's here because he has a pretty encyclopedic knowledge. He can match me in as far as my nerdy encyclopedic knowledge of professional wrestling.
Yeah, and when it comes to like wrestling, I'm an idiot savant with this stuff. I mean, just been watching it since I was like in diapers, I think.
I can
so.
Hogan. Definitely Hogan.
Yeah, definitely Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do, brother? definitely eat your vitamins.
Say your prayer.
Say your prayers. Definitely.
So let's start
Sexy
in
boy. I'm a
with
sexy
our
boy.
first question. How big is Batista's dick?
I don't know. 10-inch?
Oh man, he's like this big? I don't know. I never heard about it.
It must be pretty small because we don't hear stories about it like how Murder can suck his or anything. Hi, kids. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm a young fan. I know nothing of what you guys are talking about. It feels like a reference.
It is. We'll show you later.
You don't have to be a.
You don't have to
old-
show me Batista's dick.
We're not gonna.
You can just
Okay,
describe it. To
I'll
me.
tell this story to everyone so they're in on the joke. And so is Brad. YouShoot is what it's called, right?
Yeah.
I think it's YouShoot. Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel called YouShoot where they bring wrestlers in and interview them, and then they go to viewer questions, and the same guy submits the same question every episode, and they ask it every time.
Yep.
Which is, and what's his name?
I
like
don't remember.
So and so asks, "How big is Batista's dick?"
And everybody's response is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, so like you don't actually have to be like old, you know, an old watcher.
But it's funny because it's like they go for like disgruntled questions. It's like, well, this guy sucked and da 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 da, and then they go like, how big is Batista's dick? It's like, okay, that's curveball. But
One of my favorite answers, I forgot who it was. But one of my favorite answers is like, how big is Batista's dick? I don't know. Ask Missy Hyatt. That's one of the best answers.
That's a tongue twister, guys.
All right.
That's good.
So, and I kind of have to word this question weirdly. Mm-hmm. I need you to pick your favorite wrestler, but you need to kind of give me 2 answers.
Okay.
Pick your favorite wrestler, and depending on whether they are active or inactive,
ooh,
I need you to also pick the opposite. Like,
okay.
This is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's active, but my favorite inactive wrestler is so-and-so.
okay.
Oh, okay.
And we are starting with Sean.
Yeah. All right. So, I didn't grow up with a lot of WWF. I was more of a WCW person, mostly because of the Cruiserweight division. But, the one wrestler I always looked up to, even though I don't know if he's still getting heat or anything, but it was always The Rock. You know?
Yeah.
everyone always talked about how awesome Stone Cold and The Rock were, Stone Cold and The Rock. And everyone was always on Stone Cold's side, you know? The Rock was always the bad guy. Stone Cold, he represents, you know, the lower class. He represents everyone who wants to say no to their boss. He's awesome, he's great. And that's cool and everything. And the sad reason is I chose The Rock out of him because he's the closest out of the both of them to an Asian person.
Okay, yeah.
I was actually getting ready to say, like, did you pick him just because he's like not South Pacific, but like Samoan?
Yeah,
and he's
like,
kind of close.
I was just
to...
like,
Pacific Island.
Yeah.
I watched this and, you know, I would watch WCW and I would think, oh man, there are Japanese cruiserweights all the time. You know, they're always from Japan.
Yeah.
But in WWF, you know, there was Taka, Funaki, Tajiri, a bunch of other people. But out of like the big main roster, you got like the big main people.
Kenzo Suzuki.
Oh god.
Yes, Kenzo Suzuki was a thing. But
And that really racist geisha manager that he
Yeah.
had. Jeez.
Himiko, is that her name?
She was racist, or
But
like,
like,
she was a racist?
oh, it was just very stereotypical, like geisha girl, and she'd
Yeah.
walk in the whole wooden sandals and everything.
But it's kind of weird because it was always The Rock. You know, I liked his moveset. I like his, you know, his charisma. He was always the one guy I wanted to be. You know, I was a little quiet kid. I needed to be The Rock, the guy who can say whatever he wanted, with charisma. Say my name in the third person, but the Sean sounds
says.
really lame.
Sean says.
The Sean says, "I'm not going to do my damn homework." What? Sorry, Mom. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter.
But
Hey mom, what are you making for dinner? Well, Sean, I'm making. It doesn't matter what you're making for dinner.
and then I got spanked.
Very hard.
But ironically, even though I talked about, you know, Stone Cold representing, you know, the everyman, the lower class, if I had to pick a person on the roster right now who's my favorite, I don't want to go for the obvious answer, but right now it's pretty much Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry if I took your answer, guys.
No,
That's fine.
But it's Daniel Bryan because he proves that you don't have to fit the norm in order to be the best one in the game. You know, you can be 5 foot, however tall, 5'9", 5'10". You know, you can weigh 220 pounds. You don't have to be the 6'3", 325 muscly bodybuilder guy. It's pretty much if you work hard and, you know, keep at it, you'll go somewhere.
Yeah, he's like the second coming of Shawn Michaels
Pretty much,
without the
yeah.
drug problems and everything like that, you know. And I mean, hell, he even got trained by Shawn Michaels, which is even, you know, cooler.
All right, those are my two answers.
All right.
Like that.
D. Marcus.
Yeah. I kind of find mine a little funny because I'm this huge black guy, and mine is like the total opposite of mine. But like Sean was just mentioning him, like
Marty Jannetty.
yes. Shockmaster. No, actually, mine is Stone Cold. My favorite is Stone Cold. I just think that's kind of funny because, you know, he's like the ultimate representation, of, you know, just redneck, and, you know, like that's just like totally worlds apart from what I really know. But I don't know. I always he was a badass, flipping people off, drinking beers and shit. Like the other night, man. You know, can we say that WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Oh, I just said it. So WrestleMania just happened. So
Absolutely not.
Spoilers, man.
Didn't happen.
He came out, and I still, you know, like I said,
He came out.
yes, he is now the first.
Stone
gay
Cold Steve
wrestler.
Austin wants y'all to know. I like dicks.
I like it in a fanny.
You want to see me suck this guy off? Give me a hell yeah. I don't know what to do. and then the crowd just got.
Yokozuna slammed me so hard that I put a dick in my ass.
I understand that. I know what this took an odd turn. I know what DeMarcus is referencing there, and it is my. And I also love Stone Cold Steve Austin, but they did a show called Tough Enough, and Tough Enough was like a reality show
Yeah,
where if you won, you got a WWE contract.
but you didn't
But-
go anywhere.
Yeah, Austin was the host, and once you were potentially eliminated, he'd give you like this talk. And he told one guy, if you ask anyone their favorite Stone Cold Steve Austin moment, they'd say, "Oh, the beer bath, or when they poured concrete in Vince McMahon's car,
Or like, the beginning of 316.
or just, the beginning of 316,
Bedpan.
or any of his matches with The Rock. My answer will always be now the following story he told a young and it was inspiration to keep going. He was like, and I'll try my best to do an Austin impression, because you need the impression to sell this story.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
really need
and
it.
it's, you want to talk about keeping going? Yokozuna once slammed me so hard during a match, I shit my pants. You know what I did?
You kept
You're like,
going.
I kept going.
You just got these timid guys and gals that are just like, well, what'd you do? I kept going. Like, I mean, hell, if you
What
kept
can
going,
you do?
yeah.
You shit your pants and keep going. Like, this is how much I used to love Stone Cold. Like, and I actually told Sean this.
You called him Captain Crunch?
Yes.
What? Hey, Captain Crunch, I love Stone
I
Cold.
love you, Captain Crunch.
I love you too, Trix Rabbit.
Like Sean said, he used to do this with The Rock, but I was in high school, and this is how nerdy I am. I was in high school with no people, and go up to him and be like, "Oh, hey!" And then I pretend kick him and give him a stunner, like in the middle of the hallway, and just be like, "Ah, shit!"
And I was the same way. I'd see someone in the hallway. I'd be like, hey, what's up? I'd go in for a hug. And once they put their arms up, I'd take their arm, put it over my shoulder, and pretend to put him in the rock bottom.
Which is
Wow, I had friends. Because I didn't do that shit.
Oh.
I had friends because I did that shit.
But see, I was, and like with Brad, I was the total opposite. Like with growing up with wrestling, it was always like this black sheep thing that you never want to talk about in school because, next thing you know, you're going to get a wedgie or something like that. And like when I got to high school, I met Alan and he's like, I don't know, you're on like Lords of Pain or something like that, or I think you were watching Botchamania. And I'm like,
It might have been something like
yeah,
that.
and I'm like, oh my god, he's a wrestling fan, and I'm a wrestling fan, and I can actually talk and conversate about things, because usually if I'm like, hey, did you watch Raw last night? They're like, oh, shut up, loser.
No, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, like,
No, man, Nitro, dude.
yeah.
I'll tell my further story about high school later, because it spoils who my favorite wrestler is.
That's
but-
all right. All right, so who's your favorite current wrestler on the roster?
I'm debating between like Wade Bryant. Why can I not say this guy's name right? Wade Barrett. Fuck.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
That's a totally
Can't
different
speak English.
Bray Wyatt.
There we
Bray
go.
Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
And like Cesaro. I'm gonna say Bray Wyatt. I just like it's a gimmick that like just came out of nowhere, and like I wasn't expecting it, and it's just taking control of that shit. I'm just like, god damn, this is nice. Like this the whole fucking coke shit, and we watch Raw all the time, and I wait to try to time the fucking jet, in the fucking in that video package.
All right, this is the episode where we have to explain a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't know what DeMarcus is talking about there, at the end of Bray Wyatt's segments, there's a little, like, jump scare thing. Mm-hmm. And we do always, like, kind of wait for it.
Yeah, I'm always trying to time it right.
So there'll be random times we're just watching TV, Bray Wyatt will do a promo, and in the middle of the promo, when you think it's over, DeMarcus will just go, jump!
No, DeMarcus missed it.
Like completely. So yeah, those are my peeps.
I finally know one of the things you guys are talking about. So that's the sheep mask guy, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of the club guy.
Yeah, congratulations!
Okay.
Brad.
I haven't admittedly have not seen a Raw.
Jesus. Okay, go.
Problem?
No, we're good, we're good.
Okay. Admittedly have not seen a Raw or a SmackDown in a long time, so if this guy's not in the company anymore, I'm going to be really sad. But following my trend of liking obscure people and rooting for the underdog and whatnot, I think my favorite's Santino.
Okay.
Now, hold on.
We were talking about Santino last night. We had someone else who didn't watch wrestling watching with us. And, so we had to, explain gimmicks while they were happening. And Fandango and Santino had a match against each other. And
That's not good ever.
so Fandango started dancing. And they were like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, that's Fandango, he's a dancer. And he's like, what about the other guy? I was like, that's Santino, he's retarded.
I think one of the best moments of like that has happened with me is when I went to go up to Chicago one summer to visit my grandparents or something like that, or actually my grandfather, and I was watching one of the King of the Rings. And Billy Gunn comes out, and it's the gimmick where he was the ass man. And my grandfather is sitting in the chair and just deadpans it. He goes, they call that fella the ass man. And at the time, like, I didn't appreciate it because I was like maybe 8 or 9, but just it's always sticks in my mind that I heard my grandfather, who like served in World War II and worked.
This is what I served for.
Worked for
Freedom to be
I
the
killed
ass
men
man.
for your freedom.
Yeah,
They call that guy the ass man.
worked for Coke and like had this awesome life, and just straight deadpans. It just goes, well, they call that fella the ass man. I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Beautiful.
I think I know. As far as a wrestler, like I feel like Santino's a little underrated as a wrestler, but
He is.
obviously not the cream of the crop, the top of the game. But it's his character that I just freaking he's very, very amusing to me. I love watching.
Well, he's like the Italian Yakov Smirnoff.
Yeah, he really is. He's very much like I always enjoy seeing him because I know there's going to be something extremely entertaining about to happen.
Right.
There's a bit in particular I remember from a couple years back where he was trying to get like the women's title.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Santina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
okay. Now, for my inactive, and I believe this person is inactive, I'm going to attempt to say this name. Yoshihiro Asai, the Ultimo Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh,
I was
that's a
gonna
good
say.
answer.
Thank you.
As a person who loves Japanese wrestling, I enjoy that answer.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
Props.
See, when Alan was getting me into wrestling,
I showed him a lot of old cruiserweight
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That to
because-
me, that's the perfect gateway drug for people who aren't into wrestling.
Yes. Yes. Because, like, I think he invited me to watch a Raw or a SmackDown or something, and, I mean, this is back, like, probably 09, 2010, somewhere in there.
Started
When and I saw Rey Mysterio, and I was like, that was my favorite thing of everything you just showed me. Rey Mysterio, that was awesome. And he was like, "Oh, you like cruiserweights then?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was just all the flexibility and the acrobatics and everything. That was really cool. And so he started showing me a bunch of videos of
I showed him like
Ultimo
like
Dragon.
WCW cruiserweight stuff and like a couple Money in the Bank matches too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I will admit, going along that same vein, he did also show me a lot of hardcore matches, which were pretty cool. I remember seeing an independent circuit guy getting thrown out of a ring onto a grid of halogen lights.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
That was
Is that CZW?
Yeah, that was CZW.
CCW.
I think I remember.
I think I also showed him the Type A death match.
Ooh. Yeah.
That
Oh,
one's
man.
brutal.
yeah.
The Type A death match was based on which JCVD movie?
Isn't it Bloodsport? Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodsport. They have a match under Type A rules in which they tape their hands, dip them in glue, and then cover their hands in broken glass.
Yeah. You just showed me that
So
one.
Ian and Axel Rotten in ECW in the 90s did that.
Can I just bring up the fact they didn't pull
crazy.
the Hot Shots Part 2 when he's like Charlie Sheen's going and he's like they're reenacting that and like the guy's like his opponent like dips all the metal and stuff in it and Charlie Sheen goes and he's got like gummy bears, Skittles, M&Ms, and then you just hear in the background gummy bears, Skittles, Skittles. like that line and the like I'll always remember that.
Tyler.
Ooh, picking a favorite wrestler is like picking your favorite child for me. Because I've had so many favorites over the year.
So many children.
So many.
So many children are just go to the side.
Go to your room, Brodus Clay.
For inactive, I think I'm gonna go with Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
You know, I was a '90s kid, and when
Classic.
and you know, just growing up and watching wrestling, I think Bret Hart was the heavyweight champion at the time in the WWF.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my first Halloween costumes was Bret Hart as well. Like,
Nice.
black wig, pink sweats, leotard and all. Like, embarrassing.
Just the way you described that made that story.
Like,
This is
who
the
are you
weirdest
for Halloween?
ballerina ever.
Yeah, like, Jimmy, who are you? I'm Batman. Sally, who are you?
I have
I'm
a
Wonder
complete
Woman.
tangent to go off on now, really quick.
Oh, go
That
for
was
it.
fun.
I was trying to remember my earliest Halloween,
Yeah.
and my family got me this thing that was like it's the scary mud mask.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what the scary mud mask was it was something you mixed up, and I think it had oatmeal in it,
What?
and it was green. So you mix it up, and it was like a green oatmeal paste you put on your face. And it looked like I had green diarrhea all over my face. I found pictures of it.
What are you? I was like, what are you, Jenny? I'm Batman. Who are you, Sally? I'm Wonder Woman. Everyone stay away from that.
He's got some disease.
Shit face man.
So they pieced like a bunch of my old Halloween costumes together underneath the mud mask. So I looked like insane homeless kid who smeared shit on his face.
Oh,
Because
fuck.
like I had a Big Bird top. What? That they gave me like they were like, oh, you can tell it's Big Bird. That's okay. Turn it inside out.
So is it just like you like thinking like Hanna and Barbera like are creating a new like Scooby Doo villain?
I was just thinking, oh, it's an inside-out Big Bird top and a green diarrhea mask. I'm inside-out Big Bird. When you flip Big Bird inside out, this is exactly what it looks like.
But it's that, or like you think of like Hanna Barbera like thinking of a new Scooby Doo villain. They're like, well, what are we gonna do? Well, we've got this character here, and you got that character here, and those characters. Let's just all throw them together. I mean, it just sounds like one of those. Or just like
So-
you got-
It's a hodgepodge.
Throw
Yeah,
them all
exactly.
together and make Baphomet.
So one thing I remember, like from then on, every Halloween, I always, even if I didn't know what I wanted to be, made sure to give them a clear answer.
I don't want to be.
Because I don't want to be green diarrhea face man. Like, well, I was never a big fan of vampires when I was little, but they asked me like on the spot, "What do you want to be for Halloween?" I was like, "Dracula."
Anything that's
Oh my god! You know, if only that were like 10 years later. If you were born 10 years later, that would be the perfect bird flu costume.
topical. Would have worked.
Anyway, sorry for
Yeah, no,
interrupting.
it's
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Hart.
I'd have to say Bret Hart. I mean, just he was the total package at the time.
No, that was Lex Luger.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean,
See what you did there.
he had the perfect move set, and he was awesome. You know, he was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Favorite current wrestler? Do we have to go WWF? WWE? I mean,
It
WWE?
can
No.
be anywhere.
You're gonna take my answer though. I know it.
Well, yeah, I think I might. I'm gonna go with Kevin Steen.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. I love Kevin Steen just because he can say whatever he wants, and he's like this new coming of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but more badass. And he's a big dude, and I'm a big dude, and he, moonsaults, swanton bombs, anything you can name it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you showed me videos of him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that guy's legit.
Yeah, and
Legit to quit.
was he too legit to quit?
He was way too legit to quit. That is true to Marcus.
So,
Good answer.
thank you, Alan.
Oh, I go.
All right. All time, I have 2 inactive wrestlers and 1 active, and he just stole my active. So I'll say my 2 inactive while I'm thinking about it. Now, the first wrestler I saw that made me keep watching wrestling was Ric Flair. I still get mad. Like when Ric Flair comes back and people like give him shit like he's old and he doesn't make any sense. Why is he on our TV? Blah blah blah. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. That's Ric Flair.
But so you could be
Ric
like,
Flair gets a free pass for life. He could go up. He could go up there as green face diarrhea man, and I would be like, "You shut the fuck up." That's Ric Flair's.
I
Ric
kind of
Flair,
forgot the
green-
Halloween episode now. Who are you? Green face diarrhea man. Woo! Is he okay? Just let him have it. Just let him have it.
Macho Man right there, bro.
I got feathers, and I'm covered in this green. And, woo! Just
But yeah, I love Ric Flair. But if he was the wrestler who made me love wrestling, the wrestler who made me want to be a wrestler was Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And he was talking, Tyler was talking about how much I was into wrestling, and we talked about it in high school. I did my senior paper about Mick Foley.
Nice.
And how many of his books do you own?
I own all of his autobiographies, which is 4 right now.
Yeah.
His 2 fiction books.
Do you have all the kid books?
I do not have any of the kid books. He has one.
I
Sean
have,
has
I have the
one.
Christmas one.
But no, I have read all of his autobiographies, and the first one is 500 pages.
Does he talk about like different events in his life or something?
Yes.
Because yeah, doesn't like the first book he goes from where like how he started his career to then up then, and then the second book kind of just recaps from where it left off
Yeah.
to then like. So it's kind of like a 2-part like, series.
Okay.
It keeps just going on.
So it's like Jericho's book series, where it's
Yeah.
just like talks about early, past, present, future.
You bring up an interesting person, and I will count him as active.
Yay.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Chris
Okay.
Jericho
I'm
is
glad
my
I can
favorite
help.
active wrestler of all
Yeah,
time.
he is still active, isn't he?
Oh, fun story. Alan and I went to go watch Mick Foley do stand-up at one point, and we read his Twitter, and on his Twitter bio it says, you know, Mick Foley, former professional wrestler, great hugger, best time-selling author, and I read this and I'm just like, Alan, we need to hug Mick Foley. So that entire day, all my tweets on Twitter were just message, hashtag Operation Hug Mick. Message, hashtag Operation Hug Mick. And so we finally go watch a show, and his show is amazing.
Yeah.
As a wrestling fan, you really appreciate what he talks about. But
Yeah, what is this comedy about? Like,
it's not really nothing like, it's not really like stand-up. It's more of like a storytelling event. So
Okay.
it's Mick Foley, first of all, introducing himself, telling people, hey, this is what I did. Here's some fun stories. And after stories, he'll have the crowd ask him questions, and he'll answer them. But at the very end, we were just like, oh my gosh, he's going to be in the lobby. It's going to be great. And he goes, guys, I'm going to handshake you or fist bump you because I'm kind of sick and I don't want to get it on anyone. And so I was just like, oh, man, that entire day of just Operation Hug Mick and I can't do it. So we go to the lobby, we get in line to meet Mick Foley. We're both really nervous because it's Mick Foley.
Yeah.
And so Alan and I get in the line, we get our stuff signed, and I tell Mick, hey man, hope you're feeling better, but man, if only I could have hugged you, because on my Twitter, all I wrote was, you know, hashtag Operation Hug Mick, and I was supposed to hug you. He just looked at me, opened his arms, and just went, all right, come here. So there is a picture of me on the internet now of me hugging Mick Foley, with Alan behind him.
I awkwardly tried to, like, hug around him.
But see,
right.
you could be that one dickhead fan that's like, they're like, you're talking with other wrestling fans, like, yeah, I met Mick Foley and he signed this. Really? Because Mick Foley got me sick.
Yeah.
I feel like
No, it's funny because I
got his
put the
birth.
pictures I put the pictures on Reddit, on the Squared Circle subreddit, and people are just like, did you pull his beard? Like, did you punch him? You could have been known as that fan for punching Mick Foley at a stand-up event.
Dude,
no!
I'm not gonna be that guy.
Why am I going
But
to punch Mick Foley?
Then
Why?
on the way back to the car, I just look at Alan and just like, hey, we just hugged Mick Foley, and Alan's just like, yeah, we sure did. And Alan stayed silent for like 20 minutes. I was driving. It was just silent. Nothing was going on. And then out of nowhere, Alan lets out this huge blood-curdling scream. And I'm swerving now. I'm just like, what? What's happening? What's happening? And he just goes, we just met Mick Foley. We met Mick Foley.
I thought you were gonna tell the embarrassing part of that story, which I will let it go.
Oh, okay.
We left the comedy club, and I was still really quiet. And you were talking, and then you stopped talking, and I think you heard me a little, and you were like, are you fucking crying?
Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? And you're just like, yeah, a little.
But see, you could have been like me, because like I met him when I was like 10 or 11 at like an amateur hockey game or something like that. He was just signing autographs. And I just thought about this recently. I was always really into collecting the wrestling action figures.
Yeah.
And I had the action figure of Mick Foley with the match with Undertaker.
Yeah.
For Hell in the Cell.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's like I was like, oh, I'm going to bring this and I'm going to have him sign it. And I just thought about it like, that's the match, like, he went through hell and back.
Yeah.
And I'm this dickhead fan kid
He
that's
probably doesn't
having
wanna
him
see that.
signing it. It's like, man, I don't want to think about that's me falling off this big, you know, hellish structure, going through a table and, like, having a tooth going through my lip and everything like that. Just like, here you go, sign it, Mr. Foley.
Well, as he always tells everyone he'll do like public speaking and try and give a really inspirational speech and like go into it and like live to the best of your abilities and blah blah blah. Any questions? And everyone's hand will raise up, and he was like, before I get to questions, yes, it hurt when I fell off the case. And you'll see 90% of it.
All right, so I got a question. Mick Foley wrestled as Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. Who else?
Dude Love and Mankind.
Yeah.
Mankind. I knew that. So so my question then is your favorite wrestler the wrestler Mick Foley, or was it one of the characters he did?
I don't think I could really pick. There's aspects of every character that I like. Dude Love is a lot of the like goofier side of it. Cactus Jack is like the tough as nails. And Mankind, like original Mankind, is just sort of a tragic broken man.
Yeah.
And then he became goofy as well.
Yeah.
That's
what I know him of the most is Mankind.
Yeah, me too.
But Mick is just a good dude. I was so worried when we went to meet him.
Never meet your hero.
There's always that possibility of him being like the biggest jerk.
But he was like exactly as nice as I thought he would be.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Like nicest guy you'll ever meet in your life.
I still think my favorite Mick Foley moment is, what was it, the Royal Rumble in 1997, where, you know, if you don't know what the Royal Rumble is, it's 30 guys under the ring, and it's you have to be thrown out the ring. The coolest thing was he wrestled as Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind all in that.
He keep getting eliminated, go to the back, change. And
Okay, I like that.
First would be Cactus Jack, get thrown out, and then 5 spots later, here comes Dude Love, gets thrown out. 2 spots later, here comes it's awesome. Yeah.
Guys, we should have just named this one the Mick Foley blog. I mean, the Mick Foley episode. This is pretty much what it's going to be. We can talk about Foley for hours.
Mick Foley is awesome. Yep. Moving on. Who is your least favorite wrestler of all time?
I bet he's a nice guy in real life. It's the Great Khali. I mean, when he first came in, he was the guy who could beat The Undertaker because, The Undertaker's what? 6'11"?
That's what he's building.
Yeah, and Khali is what, 7'5"?
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So when you saw them up against next to each other, Khali's just towering over Taker. It was the most threatening thing to Taker that you've seen in a while. And then after he starts wrestling, it's, he can't move well. All he does is chops and slaps.
Well, that's the drawback to acromegaly is you've got, awful joints. And it shows. And it's unfortunate, but I mean, wrestling to that end is an extension of
Great Khali killed a guy.
Almost.
Yeah, that's another thing.
What?
The Great Khali has accidentally killed a man once.
Yeah.
Before he joined the WWE, he was trying to powerbomb a dude and killed him.
Wow.
Oh,
That's not cool, dude.
So if you want to know why the Great Khali only does brain chops, that's why.
It's also just kind of like,
how do they rule that? Is that misadventure?
I don't know. Well, think about
you're a winner in decision of death.
You're a winner.
I don't mean rule the match, Sean.
Okay.
I meant legally rule that.
okay.
Winner in this match and killer in life.
Okay, a man died, so there's going to be some legal.
Here is your winner,
but
and
firstly,
under arrest.
Firstly, how do we determine this match?
Look at
That's obviously the more important.
Think of Billy Madison, where he's got the principal used to be a pro wrestler,
Yeah.
and he's like, I heard the guy killed a guy once. That's just a stun. He was supposed to pinch my leg. It's like one of those moments, but then he just actually killed the dude in the ring.
Yeah. And his character now, I mean, it's just kind of
He can barely speak English.
Right.
Also,
there's one of my favorite moments of him is just nothing to do with wrestling. It was on John Cena's birthday on that Raw, where it's just John Cena's birthday gift was the Great Khali singing "Happy Birthday" to him.
Oh.
So it's just him going, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, John Cena."
Is it bad that I think he kind of sounds like Lou Ferrigno with his trip?
I actually, because I didn't know if we were going to do underrated and overrated, I actually have the Great Khali as the most appropriately rated wrestler.
okay, here's the thing about the Great Khali. Someone made this joke before, and I love it to death. There's this old expression that they used to say about Ric Flair, that Ric Flair could have a 5-star match with a broom.
And he did.
And Daniel Bryan had a watchable match with the Great Khali. So the comparison like someone made is like, the Great Khali is the broom in that joke.
Just stand there and let him do all the work.
I remember Ken because the Great Khali was in Get Smart, right? Or the new Get Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was also in
Longest Yard. That's
Longest
how I
Yard.
found out.
Yeah. And Ken was like, "Man, yeah, I like him. He's a good actor." And I was like, "This dude was not saying real words." Like,
They had the subtitle.
Now that
Longest Yard.
now that I think about it, and I know you guys won't get it because it's about our friend Ken, I think Ken's favorite wrestlers are people who've been in movies. The Rock, The Miz, The Great Khali.
The Miz was in a movie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was in a movie.
This was on The Real World.
Yeah, so I think that might be Ken's reasoning. If you're an actor, if you've acted in something and it wasn't wrestling, you're automatically amazing.
Wasn't there some like Marine movie?
Oh yeah, he was Marine 3.
Yeah, that's where.
And he's
All
going to
right.
be like 4 as well.
I mean, I guess, but except John Cena because
That's what I was asking about Cena. Was the Miz a Marine too?
he was.
No,
he was in the
Marine
movie
2
though.
was Ted DiBiase Jr.
And wasn't like, so it went like John Cena was the first Marine, and
Yeah.
then Ted DiBiase Jr. was, and then it was going to be Randy Orton, and they didn't.
But Randy
Randy was
Orton, there was some protest about that. Randy Orton was legitimately dishonorably discharged from the Marines. So they were like, you can't let him play a Marine.
We don't want him to represent us.
All right. DeMarcus, least favorite wrestler.
Mine is MVP.
Really?
What?
I just don't like his gimmick.
But he's like Tropicana. He's got the juice.
MVP is the truth, right?
No, that's
No.
not the truth.
That's our joke.
Yeah,
Like I
I didn't
believe
say that.
outside of the MVP gimmick, he is actually a good wrestler. Like, you know, I remember he was on another. Who was he?
Antonio Banks.
Antonio Banks
on ROH.
And I saw you know, his matches, and those are good. It's just his gimmick just bothers me. It's just like the most.
A quick aside while I'm thinking about it, because it's hilarious. One of our favorite inside jokes was MVP. He had this rap song as his entrance, and he has a line in that song which was like Tropicana, I got the juice. The video for his entrance is like stereotypical him posing and like MVP in big flashy letters. When it says, I'm like Tropicana, I got the juice, they show someone pouring a cup of juice.
Oh god.
The whole just cut away from all action. And
It is the funniest shit ever for some reason.
Thank WWE
I think-
2K13 or whatever.
I think we were watching it one day, and you just said, "Was that juice?"
That's juice.
Was that a literal cup of juice being poured?
I mean, it's just, I don't know, like, I've seen, like, you know, wrestlers before, and yeah, you know, they come out, and, you know, they're kind of hip-hop, and, but I don't know, it was just ultra stereotypical, and I was just, I don't know, I just couldn't deal with it.
It was kind of a non-stereotypical gimmick. It wasn't even like a rap thing. It was like, he was supposed to be a parody of, like, really privileged athletes. And I thought that was pretty unique, because, like, his debut was him, wasn't he, like, trying to play either Raw or SmackDown to, like, get signed?
Yeah, he was the free agent.
He was a free agent,
okay.
and, like, he was trying to get the better offer from either Raw or SmackDown.
Interesting.
Yep. But the cool thing is, like, you know, I was with you as well. I thought he was kind of corny as well about the whole thing. But after I think he got canned from WWE, let go. So, you know, either you can do two things. You can either go to the independents, or you can go to Japan. And he went to Japan.
And see, I
And
respect that.
he honed on his craft, went to Japan, and everyone was thinking, oh, after he's done with Japan, he's going to go back to WWE, and he's going to be awesome. And he didn't. He's like, you know, I'm going to take time, and I'm going to work on my rap career. I'm just going to hone my craft. And he went to the new, he went to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is just like a minor league WWE.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's awesome right now. And I respect him more for
Is
that
he
to go.
still MVP?
Yeah, because he owns, like, him and a few other wrestlers just, like, own their name.
Yeah.
And so he'll always be MVP. But yeah, he's honed his craft, and he's a lot better.
I mean, see, I respect. Like, I don't know. I just remember just seeing him, and I was just like, ah.
Plus, the dude robbed like a cruise ship.
Yeah, if you haven't heard
Like
that
he
story,
straight
it's
up
amazing.
went to jail.
He robbed it.
He
Yeah,
robbed a
like
cruise ship.
yeah. If like there's another podcast out there that's like done by Cole Cabana, who's an independent wrestler who went to the WWE. Like
We
he interviewed-
referenced it earlier.
Yeah, he was interviewing MVP, and he's like, "Yeah, I went to jail." He's like, "Really? You did time?" He's like, "Yeah, I like robbed a cruise ship."
So hold on. MVP's a pirate?
I guess so.
Yeah, he's technically a pirate.
So why is that not his gimmick?
It's been done.
Yeah, pirate gimmicks have been
Yeah,
done.
oh my god.
Paul Burchill.
Paul Burchill does it. He was like a
Around
Jack
the time,
Sparrow parody.
Around the time Pirates of the Caribbean was popular, we got Paul Burchill, who was like a legit tough guy when he started out. He was just a big, tough British dude, and he had a really cool finisher. And then they're like, "We're gonna put you in eyeliner and make you a pirate,
And then he
and
had
you're gonna and your
Oh,
entrance."
fuck me.
Oh man, you would have loved this guy too. I mean, like his entrance, he came in like swinging from a rope.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and he
I
pulled out
would
a
have
sword.
loved
He
that
pulled
guy.
out a sword like during his promos and like threatened people with
Hell
it.
yes.
and then he had that weird incest like thing.
That
Yes,
was after.
after the pirate thing, the angle got canned because WWE went TV PG.
Yeah.
But his sister started wrestling with him, Katie Lee Burchill, and they were building toward an incest angle.
Yeah.
His actual sister.
No, well,
No,
like,
no, character.
like,
Oh,
character,
character.
like, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay.
When you wipe your brow on that one.
It's like, wow.
Well, it's like something like that, and like the other thing that reminds me of like, okay, that's really too far. Is like there was a wrestler by the name of Muhammad Hassan,
gosh.
and he was feuding with the Undertaker at the time, and it was around the same time of the British bombings of that attack. So there was like an episode of SmackDown where they had like all these terrorists come out and choke out the Undertaker, and I think they were on what UPN at the time.
It was UPN, and it was all pre-taped.
Yeah,
so...
and UPN wanted nothing to do with it anymore. Like, we're gonna get rid of your show and cancel everything unless you get rid of this guy. And
then
this
they
guy
thought-
was a great heel worker. I mean,
Yeah.
like he wasn't like a terrorist, but he was like an Arab American. And, he's like,
And he played off of the insecurities of everyone.
Yeah.
Was kind of his
Right,
gimmick.
right.
A little
Yeah.
too close to home.
very.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So, yeah, MVP.
Racism's awful. Racism's
What were we talking about? What was our question?
Least favorite wrestler.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And we were at MVP.
Yeah.
So we got to Muhammad Hassan.
That's how we do it.
Brad.
Whew. The Iron Sheik. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
pussy.
Hogan pussy.
Didn't it?
Okay. This one might come out of left field a little bit. It's for a few reasons.
I'll prep my spit take, but I won't actually do it.
Randy Orton.
Oh, that's okay.
No, that's all right.
It's just when I started watching, every single time I saw Randy Orton take the stage, it was like, wow, you're like a B John Cena, aren't you?
Oh, wow.
You're
that's
like you're
weird.
trying to be John Cena, but you're kind of a heel, and you do that weird little snaky thing that is so dumb.
Yeah, but see, you know what my favorite Randy Orton moment is?
What?
So Orton became like, when he first came in, he was a face, and he's like, "Oh, I'm the son of Bob Orton and the grandson of Bob Orton." Blah.
Cowboy Bob.
Yeah. He got injured, and then they played on this whole thing where they'd show it on the Titantron. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm doing better, and this arm's gonna get healed up, and I should be ready in 50 days." And then it would just go on for weeks and weeks, and they'd have this like Randy Orton getting better soon counter, and it was hilarious. And then they just dropped it, and then he joined Evolution. I was like, oh man, that could have been perfect. for
No,
the cheesy.
yeah,
Yeah.
there are some really good early Randy Orton moments. The Legend Killer gimmick is
Yeah.
classic.
What years would this be?
like 2008, maybe.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
just
cause,
right before I came in.
like,
Okay.
because
2000
Backlash 2008,
2000.
Backlash 2008 with
Yeah.
his match with Mick Foley. You would
Oh my
love
god!
it.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
but then it was like, well, it wasn't.
But his gimmick was this: he was the Legend Killer,
Uh-huh.
and so like veterans would come in and he would beat the hell out of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's a pretty.
But he like started off with like,
But now his gimmick is he is like
The Viper.
create a wrestler default pay.
Yeah. Yes. And that's my big problem with him is he, and that's kind of why I said B John Cena. He's just he feels like there's just not much to it, you know.
Yeah.
And like Cena, at least has the
Plus,
I'm a good guy. Everyone loves me. God bless America.
I don't even know
thing.
if you know about the stories about what a dick he is backstage.
So I stand by my answer then.
there is a
Will Wheaton says don't be a dick.
the infamous story is that I don't remember the name of the female wrestler.
I think it was like Joy Giovanni or something.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Joy?
I think it was Joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joy Giovanni became a diva, and she a diva is the female wrestlers in the WWE.
They don't even know.
Okay.
Slur.
And everyone was making fun of her backstage because, you know, like many WWE divas, she was all looks, no wrestling skill. And Randy decided he didn't want her around, so he shit in her bag.
I didn't know that, actually.
Really?
I wish
You've
the
never-
look
you-
that I'm
Or
giving
it's been
you
a while.
You've never heard a Randy Orton poop in a bag joke?
I don't know.
Wow.
There's like R. Kelly peeing on a girl, and then there's Randy Orton pooping in a bag.
Is there
You know, like there was a
Good
thing
joke.
like a while ago. It was just like, oh, Batista's coming back, and he's being a jerk to everyone backstage. And you know, there'll be people on Reddit or like Facebook just like, Randy should poop in their bag. Randy should poop in their bag.
Wow.
Poop in their bag, Randy.
And
wow.
there's like kind of rumors of like pushes he cut short because he didn't like the guy. Like guys who were supposed to be bigger than they actually are. Like he was involved in a feud with Kofi Kingston that was going really well.
Yeah.
And Kofi like minorly botched something during a match. And Randy seemed to have broken character and just said, "Stupid! Stupid!" And Kofi's push was just completely cut.
Wow.
The other one that is a good one is a guy by the name of Ken Anderson. There was this whole storyline where Vince McMahon blows up in a limo, and they don't know like what's going to happen. I think what were the two reasons why it got cut short was because Chris Benoit
died.
that whole Chris Benoit situation, and that was going to lead to Ken Anderson, who is the time as
Ken
Mr.
Kennedy.
Yeah, Ken Kennedy, to be the like seed of or like the legitimate son of Vince McMahon and to battle Triple H for the company and blah 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 blah. But yeah, he supposedly had a match with Orton and botched something, and Orton supposedly said, "Yeah, I'm not going to work with him anymore, and he should be fired from the company." And like later got fired from the company.
The night of that botch, he got fired.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
So good choice for least favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow.
That's kinda, yeah.
Tyler.
I'm going to go with The Miz. I can't stand him. My thing is, I respect a
No
lot
one
of...
saw the look on my face. That was Tyler keeps stealing my goddamn.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Wait, okay, hold on. Did you like The Miz as a commentator?
I never have liked The Miz.
All right.
I like him as a
I have
commentator.
I
never
liked him
liked
as a
him.
commentator.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't get the whole, like, I was on Road Rules, MTV, I'm going to become a wrestler. Like,
He sounded just like that, too.
Yeah, and there's guys that hone their craft, come through the independents, and never see the light of day of WWE.
Yeah.
And this guy was on a reality TV show and was just like, I'm going to be a wrestler, and then got signed.
He did a couple years in another league though, like it was a PWG or something. But
No, he wasn't on PWG.
no, he talked about something. It was in the Art of Wrestling interview.
Yeah.
Like people automatically assume that right after Road Rules or the Real World, he went
Yeah.
straight to WWE. But no, he worked in a independent league for like 2 or 3 years before going to WWE.
Which that's fine, but I mean, like, I've never gotten the whole, his gimmick just is eh. And I think the one thing that really makes me always mad is WrestleMania 27. That like, you've got the top heel versus the top face. At the time it was John Cena, and then the top heel was CM Punk. Mm-hmm. This guy had just come off this hot gimmick where he was this anti-Jesus, Charles Manson type character.
Okay, I'm gonna clarify. He was not anti-Jesus.
Well, he was like,
He wasn't going out there and being like, "Boo,
Yeah.
Jesus!"
okay. He was the Antichrist.
Yeah.
So this hot gimmick that he was getting, like, people were telling him he was the devil in crowds and stuff like that, and he was he was getting so much heat.
Yeah.
And, it should have been him and Cena at WrestleMania 27. But it was The Miz and John Cena. And then, Punk wrestled Orton. And had a great match, but, it wasn't Cena and Punk, who have always had 5-star matches.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, they push each other.
See, I always didn't like the guy that looked like The Miz, except he had no neck.
Alex Riley?
No. I'll get there. I'll get there, you guys.
The Miz with no neck.
Yeah.
I've been through the desert on this.
But yeah, I just
Isn't that?
don't like the Miz. Probably never like the Miz.
All right.
Do you think he's gotten better or
No.
I've had to choose my new answer, which is Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
Dave Bautista is a giant roid monkey who can't work anymore, but is pushed high in the company. And I've seen him in a few acting roles that I liked.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I hope he does really well as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in Man with the Iron Fist, which is becoming like one of my favorite movies.
It was quite good.
And he was good in that. But oh man, another guy with terrible backstage stories.
Yeah.
Just killing people instead.
I hate you, Batista.
I hate you too.
I hate you too.
Was it the Edge that he took out?
I like how you call him the Edge.
Edge, sorry.
That guy from YouTube.
No.
Adam Copeland.
But do you think? I mean, like with Batista and Orton. I mean, the company's basically being handed to Triple H right now since he's kind of screwed his way into the company, metaphorically saying. And that, now that Triple H is there, he's got, Batista's his friend, Orton's his friend, and he's got all these guys that are his friends that are at the top of the company. It kind of reminds me of WCW when Hogan and Nash took over.
Yeah.
When they were making sure that their guys got covered.
Well, we just had WrestleMania, which I think gave a lot of us hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a badass WrestleMania.
But yeah, Dave Bautista is my answer.
Is there was there a point that you ever liked him, or was there? Okay.
You didn't like the Deacon Dave Bautista?
See, now I have this rule. There's something people will do that pisses me off. Whenever people wish injury on a professional wrestler, legitimate injury, I get really mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
They're a human being.
they're human beings. They're doing something they love.
Yeah, and you know the feeling because you used to be a professional wrestler.
I was a wrestler for a bit. And I had to take a long break, which turned into me not going back, which is when I hurt my shoulder.
Right.
I found myself hoping Batista got hurt once and hated myself about it.
Oh shit.
You are becoming what you hate.
I got there. I got there finally. Swagger.
Oh!
Best reaction.
Jack Swagger is the Miz with no neck and 2 feet taller.
And a speech impediment.
If you could only see the sound levels of when we went, oh!
All right. I have an interesting question.
I'm the myth.
What was your favorite bad gimmick?
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you all a moment.
Ooh, I already have
I
my
thought
answer.
of 10.
No, I can think of a bunch
I
too.
already have my answer.
Okay, I'll just get one. It might not be my favorite, but it's one of my favorite bad gimmicks. But it was Simon Dean with the Simon Dean system.
The Simon System.
Yeah, so it was pretty much Simon Dean, also known as Hollywood Nova in ECW,
And Supernova.
I was playing Simon.
Oh, I hate you. No, but it was just a guy, and his gimmick was that he was he was a fitness trainer, right? And he was selling these supplements, and his promos were always, "Man, you should take my supplements. You'll feel better. You'll run faster. You'll jump higher. You'll be
All of his
awesome."
on-video promos were commercials.
Yeah. So for a second, because I didn't watch ECW growing up, I actually thought it was a legit thing. I was just like, why did they keep showing this before Raw? And then he shows up, and he starts wrestling. Great. He's a good wrestler. No lie, he's a good wrestler. It's just, the gimmick was just...
See, the twist would have been that he was hiding sleeping pills in his supplements, so that mid-match his opponents would just start kind of swaying.
Hey, and you know who killed his momentum?
Dave
Dave
Bautista!
Bautista.
There we
Oh,
go.
man.
And even
Full
though,
circle.
it's one of my least favorite gimmicks, but one of my favorite things about the gimmick is, for the longest time, his entrance, he would just ride down the ramp on a Segway. So you hear this heroic fitness piece, it sounded like Jump by Van Halen. Da, 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 da. It wasn't that, but you just see a guy waving to people on a Segway while music like that's playing. Try my new Simon system, it'll
And
make
then
you
they had him
awesome.
stop
I do
wrestling, and
remember
he
that.
was managing two guys
Oh yeah, I
that,
don't.
that looked identical, and the gimmick was twins, and they were the Gemini, the Gymi.
Wow, I never noticed.
I don't even remember that anymore. I remember the twins. I just didn't remember the gimmick or anything. I thought those guys were just like, oh, if you didn't try the Simon system, then these guys would beat you up.
They were supposed to be his Simon System success stories.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Simon says, motherfucker.
Take this shit.
DeMarcus.
Oh man, I think this is a pretty bad gimmick. The Boogeyman. Is that a pretty?
Oh my god.
You hated the Boogeyman?
No, this is your favorite.
This is my
worst
favorite.
gimmick.
My favorite,
Oh, okay.
favorite worst gimmick. Like,
Which one's the boogeyman?
Can we talk about how this, like, the Boogeyman started?
so
So, like,
yeah,
like, it was another season of Tough Enough.
Okay, Brad, the Boogeyman was a
Boogeyman
wrestler.
was a guy who dressed like a monster.
Awesome. All right. Sold.
Okay,
Continue.
Legitimately ate worms.
yeah.
Yeah.
there was a storyline where you know who JBL is, right? John Brad Shelley.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He had like an assistant or someone named Jillian Hall, and her only gimmick was she had this gross, disgusting, like tumorish mole on her face, right?
Yeah, that they like it was like prosthetic, but
Yeah.
they sold it as real on the
People
show.
just like, ew, gross, gross, gross. And at one point, the Boogeyman shows up and just eats it off her face.
Yeah.
But, like, the best part about, like, the whole thing about the Boogeyman is awesome because, like, there was a season of Tough Enough where they were trying guys out, and, what is his real name? Marty Wright?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was trying out, and he was doing the Boogeyman gimmick as well.
Was he?
Yeah. And so then, like, well, we're looking at your
No,
file.
he was trying out as
Yeah, he was trying out. He wasn't a Boogeyman.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. So, the one thing about Tough Enough is there's an age restriction.
Okay.
And they're like, well, we're looking here, and how old are you, sir? He's like,
I'm 30.
yeah, and he keeps, like, deadpanning that he's 30, and like, well, sir, it says here that you're not 30. I'm
30.
They're like, well, sir,
Do you have any ID on you?
and he's like, I'm 30 years old,
And
and
he
then
finally pulls out his ID and says, I am 40-something years old.
I just want to show that you can be any age and be awesome. I'm going to teach these young bucks. These young bucks.
He's like,
The rapper?
Yes.
yeah, you're not getting me on the show.
But which is funny. So I didn't know if that was kind of a fake real thing, like they put him in and they already signed him, or but then he got signed and then became the
And
Boogeyman.
he went to their developmental territory and became the Boogeyman.
Yeah, this dude.
And like would get
Alright.
and would get sick by eating these worms. Like from another story, he's like, "Doctor, I don't feel good." I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" "I'm eating worms." Like, well, you shouldn't be eating worms.
You turned Marty Wright into Scott Steiner for some reason.
Here's an idea. Stop.
Yeah, and then he's like,
Do
so then he
that.
switched over to like liver or something like that. But it would just get like worse and worse.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
Yeah,
liver
this
game.
He was a former Marine, wasn't he?
I think so.
So
have
he
no
had,
idea.
he had taken some like survival course and was used to eating bugs or something.
It was actually Bear Grylls.
Man, that would have been a better gimmick than the Boogeyman. Like,
Drank poop once. Drank. That's. Oh.
Alan is
Oh,
now
wow.
showing a
and he
picture
looks
of the
like a
Boogeyman.
Maori tribesman. Or
Yeah.
Maori, as it were.
was.
Okay.
Yeah,
Brad.
that's my favorite.
What was it? Oh yeah. Okay, I got it. I forget the guy's name. So you guys help me out and don't judge. The manager for Undertaker?
Paul Bearer.
Paul
Yeah,
Bearer.
that got kidnapped by Kane that one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah! Him is my favorite. My favorite
my
bad
favorite.
gimmick. Oh no, help! Kane!
Help me, Kane!
Help me, Undertaker! Help me!
but it's just a weird like.
he died.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh!
It was a well. He
He got inducted to the, he got posthumously inducted in the Hall of Fame this year.
Cool. Alright, well, it comes around, I guess.
But it's funny because like he wasn't the original manager for the Undertaker. It was like Brother Love.
Brother Love was.
This guy that was just in a white suit and a red shirt and a white tie, just looked like crap and just like, love.
He was supposed to be like a
yeah.
televangelist parody.
Oh, wow.
And like he was the one that introduced the Undertaker with Ted DiBiase at the time at a Survivor Series, and then came Paul Bearer as his manager, and it worked. Like I love Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
No, we all do.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I felt so bad when like I was at a funeral and it was in like the funeral house and I saw an urn and like that was Paul Bearer's thing, and I texted everybody. I'm like, do I feel bad that I just want to pick up this urn and just start cutting Paul Bearer lines? Like, yes, my Undertaker. You know, just
Was that his real voice?
No,
That's
Okay.
the character.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He would dress up and be, what are they called?
Pallbearer.
No.
Like a funeral? Like a mortician?
The throwaway matches at the beginning, where you got blackout matches.
He was
dark
He
matches.
was a wrestler
Dark-
for a short period.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever wrestled in WWF though.
Oh, okay.
No, 'cause
I thought he was the one. I'm probably getting.
He
him
wrestled
confused.
under the name Percy Pringle.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. No. What is it called when they have
Dark matches?
Well, no, but like they've got like D-list guys.
Enhancement talent?
Jobbers.
Yeah,
Jobbers.
jobbers.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the worst brain fart ever.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, Paul.
Bear?
Paul
He's-
Bear,
he- That was that's my favorite.
Tyler?
Best worst gimmick. Mantar.
I said best worst gimmick.
Mantar! If nobody knows who Mantar is, basically it was this big guy that came out with like a water buffalo like thing on his head, and like he would have this entrance, and then all of a sudden you just
And I feel like I need to establish this. I really should have established it before we said two things. One, like I think we all have a passion for ridiculous gimmicks.
Oh, of course.
When they're committed to so hard.
Yeah.
And two, I call it the Iron Maiden rule. And it applies to professional wrestling. Like Iron Maiden, professional wrestling in adulthood is only really, really good if you appreciate how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I always use the song Run to the Hills as my example. Because it's a bunch of white guys from England, and they all have long hair, but not like metal band long hair, like I Play Too Much EverQuest long hair.
like I'm in my basement playing D&D, drinking Mountain Dew.
And the song Run to the Hills is these white British nerds talking about all the injustices done to Native Americans. And it starts out, "White man came across the sea. He brought us pain and misery," which is fucking terrible, but awesome.
So, but like, you know, as a kid, like there was a match. He had a match against Bret Hart for the World Heavyweight title,
He
and
did.
I legitimately was scared that Bret Hart was going to lose his title to Mantar. But this is just me being a kid, like, oh my god, I can't believe he's going to lose it to the big, like, water buffalo dude. But like that, and like there's another memory of like, you know, the old WWF magazine, is that they've got a picture of him without the water buffalo, or whatever the hell it is. And he's just got this big...
a minotaur?
Yeah, but he's got this big chicken leg, and he's biting into it. And it's... So yeah, Mantar. I love him.
I just thought of an honorable mention. What was that old 90s wrestling movie, something the mat?
Oh,
Beyond the Mat?
Beyond the Mat, yeah. There were promos for it, and the Regurgitator.
Oh, Draws.
Draws.
Jared Drozdoff.
Yeah.
They were going to call him
Yeah,
Puke.
Puke.
but-
Yeah.
He's got a puke.
He's got a puke. Yeah.
Yeah. He got paralyzed in the ring, and
God damn it!
now he can't walk.
You're just picking.
I am.
You're on a pick 'em tonight.
Yeah, speaking of people that would, like, you keep going on this whole thing. Okay, so we just found out today the Ultimate Warrior died.
Yes.
After being on Raw on Monday.
Which was last night.
I will still always remember one of my cringeworthiest Ultimate Warrior lines was they released this DVD that just bashed the Ultimate Warrior. Like,
Yes. We're gonna not get into that because weirdest worst angles is another thing.
Okay.
But my favorite terrible gimmick is without a doubt the Repo Man.
Repo.
When what was the Royal Rumble that Ric Flair won?
92.
The 92.
Wow.
Like I said, idiot savant, like, total, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely
All right.
92, gotcha.
Like, if
So
you
there-
throw... no, you go.
So let me explain the gimmick first. The Repo Man was a repo man, a guy who repossessed stuff. But they decided, well, we can't just have him go out there and dress like a repo man. So they gave him like a Repo Man supervillain costume. And he had like a Riddler mask on, and he would always like lurch down and sneak around wherever he went when he walked. And it was so awful. But I loved it so much because he committed to it so hard. And this was Barry Darsow?
Yeah, who was
in Demolition.
Oh, okay.
Who was like the WWF's answer to the Road Warriors.
Yep.
So he came off of this super serious, here comes the axe, and here comes the smasher, to sneaking around. And the one promo that always sticks out is when he steals the little kid's tricycle and rides off on it.
I was hoping you were going to bring up when he, like, the first couple of Raw episodes where he steals Macho Man's hat.
Yes.
I'm going to revoke your hat.
He
Like,
repossesses Macho Man Randy Savage's hat. He's not making payments on it.
and which sucks for him.
But he was in the 92 Royal Rumble. The one where Ric Flair was like one of the first 3 people in, and he won the whole thing. And that was the Royal Rumble year where if you won the Rumble, you won the title. But he was in that Rumble, and he like sneaks out like this, and he gets eliminated, and then he sneaks out like that too.
He was just handed crap gimmick after crap gimmick. Because he went to like WCW.
And again, the beauty of it is he committed to it so hard.
Now that I think about it, I kind of want to change my answer now. Is that cool?
What?
Can I change it to Zack Ryder?
What do you mean? What? That he's just the crappy.
No, like it's the best worst because he was just that crappy, like sad guy who couldn't get anywhere. You know, he had his own like internet show. He made his own internet championship, and he just made this entire series on YouTube. And it was just like, oh, this guy's pathetic. But you want to keep on watching his show just to see where it goes,
Was that
right?
the twitchy guy?
No, he was with a team as the Major Brothers, and then he like copied Edge and was like an Edge protege, and then he became like a Jersey Shore ripoff.
So he was always like, you know, take care, spike your hair, fist pumping. It was just okay. And then like at first, Alan can vouch for us. We saw him wrestle Yoshitatsu in ECW one time at Sprint Center, and we just hated him.
I am on television. If you want to go look up the archives of the old ECW.
Oh yeah, I was too.
Booing Zack Ryder.
I was right next to him, just not fist pumping, but I was just kind of like doing peace signs and just putting them up in the air. Because my friend told me to do that if I was on TV. But
an Asian doing peace signs.
yeah, and that guy just beat an Asian guy in the ring. I hate you, Zack Ryder. I hate you. But now he's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along.
Yeah.
Moving along.
How big is Batista's dick? No.
God, who's that guy that I'm thinking of? Who is the real shy, twitchy, tiny guy? Like that's his whole thing. Is like he's kind of twitchy and shy.
Hornswoggle?
No, not tiny like that.
All right.
Like Eugene, but he was like mentally retarded. That's nuts.
I'll get there. Get there.
Best and worst finishers.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not qualified for this.
Sean.
My best finisher. Are we doing like most overrated wrestler, underrated wrestler? We're an hour and 15 right now. I could.
I'm going to skip over a couple things.
Okay, so my favorite finisher of all time is Tajiri's buzzsaw kick, and that's actually a lie because I just thought of another one, and it's probably Scott Steiner's Steiner screwdriver. Because first of all, the Tajiri buzzsaw kick, Tajiri always finds the right spot on his thigh to hit when his foot is supposed to connect to someone, right? So, right when it's about to hit someone's face, you hear it aloud, like, and the entire arena just goes, ooh! You know, and it's just, every time I see that, I can't imagine someone getting up from that.
Yeah.
Like, if you got kicked like that in real life. And if that's how loud the sound is of you getting kicked in the head, you're done. That was always my, ooh, it's over, he's dead. Same with the Steiner screwdriver. You know, Scott Steiner, big papa pump, puts you in a suplex, turns it around out of nowhere, just turns it into a pile driver. Not like a tombstone where you like safely land on your head, but like a jumping pile driver. And it's
it is a pretty crazy.
It is frightening. It's just like people should get paralyzed after being part of the Steiner screwdriver. But the weird thing is, when I think about my worst move, it's actually technically the worst move I can think of, but I love the move so much, and that's Scotty Too Hotty's worm.
The longest.
I've seen that.
Yes, and it's funny because when I watch wrestling with my dad, that's what he hates. He hates it when people stall when they could win a match with a move. So my dad hates the worm, the rock bottom, 5-knuckle shuffle. It's just, don't waste time. Just get in there, do your job.
Right.
If you guys don't know, the worm is when Scotty Too Hotty puts you in a face buster, right? And that's when he slams your face in the mat and you roll over. He stands around, looks around at the crowd, takes one arm, puts it out to his side, takes his other arm, puts it out to the side, stomps around for a few seconds,
Dancing in place.
and then jumps on one leg while moving in like a small circle, and every time he takes a step, he shouts W, O, R, M, and after he gets to the M, he does the worm, like the breakdance move,
Towards his opponent.
Like, you see how long I'm going with this? It's still not done. He does the worm 3 times. Gets on his feet. You think he's gonna do something. Nope. He takes both of his arms, puts it on one side. The crowd shouts, "Hoo!" Swings it to the other side. The crowd shouts, "Hoo!" Swings it back to the first side. "Hoo!" And then he just kind of rolls his hands up in front of him like he's punching a speeding bag. Puts his hands up, and it's just a chop.
It's a chop to the throat.
All that just for a chop. Like, technically, it's just like, this is the dumbest thing you can do. But you just have so much fun watching it, though.
Yeah, but you know how hard it was to nail that move in No Mercy on the N64?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's why I'd much rather play SmackDown 2000, like SmackDown 2, just because he automatically got to the right position. Alright, your turn, Deep.
Oh, man, I think my favorite finisher, like, I think it has to be, like, from someone specific, and it's Evan Bourne's Shooting Star Press. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just so beautiful. It's just
that's a good one.
Perfect, man. Like, this dude gets up there, and it's just time slows down and cuts through the air with ease and agility. It's fucking beautiful, man. And, like, we all, like, you know, we're heterosexual men, but we say, okay, you're allowed.
Tyler.
We all say you're allowed to have like a wrestling crush, and everything. And man, I was Evan Bourne.
Let's not talk about that on the podcast.
Evan Bourne actually saved the Shooting Star Press for the WWE because that move was banned for the longest time.
Shit.
Because there was a point in the early 2000s where Billy Kidman would do it, and the last couple times he did it, his knee always landed on someone's head or like on someone's chest, like, and it was like concussion, compressed chest or something. Ow. Same thing with Hoobie's 450 splash. Jumped off the top rope, do a full front flip, and try to land on them, stomach first. Yeah, same thing. Knee hit somewhere, elbow hit somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like it was just scary.
So they pretty much told Evan Bourne, like, the only way you're allowed to do this move is if you can execute it perfectly every time.
Right.
So,
and he does.
Yeah, like at training or whatever, they said, "Can you do a Shooting Star Press? Like if you could do it perfectly 10 times, we will let you do it on the show." And he did it. And he saved the move. Now everyone can see how beautiful his Shooting Star Press is.
And I wish this guy, like, I wish they'd bring him back, man. Like, I love Evan Bourne, and I was wanting him to get pushed. And
his dumbass keeps getting injured.
And my least favorite, I mean, I'm guessing I'm going to probably steal this from someone, but because it's just like, really, you win a whole match on this. Probably Hogan's leg drop. I mean, come on. I feel like everybody else does leg drops, but Hogan's is just, I mean, come on. And he doesn't even like go on the top rope or anything. It's just in the middle of the ring. It doesn't make sense. That shouldn't be a finisher. And a guy Hogan's size, I mean, he should be able to do some kind of lift or something. I mean, dude, 24-inch pythons. You could have.
And you use your legs.
Yeah. I mean, that one.
All right.
My least favorites goes along the same lines. I'm trying to narrow down my favorite between two. I'd say my favorite is real answer, the Sin Cara's Hurricane Rana driver. And
Which one is that?
We have no idea what you're talking about.
Isn't it Hurricane Rana? Doesn't he have a Hurricane Rana finisher? Sin Cara? No? Am I making stuff up?
Is it like a Mystico thing in CMLL or something like that? In Mexico?
Okay, well then I'll go with my second choice, which is the Osirian Portal.
What? Are you just making stuff up?
Someone's been Googling
No,
crap.
no. That's the name of the two Phidias and the Egyptian tag team.
Oh,
Their
the
dance
hypnosis.
What?
The hypnosis.
hypnosis.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
They,
yeah,
they
the
called
thing.
it the Osirian portal.
Like with the no, that wasn't a snake.
They hypnotize them, and then people just started dancing.
Oh yeah,
And then the entire roster just walks out and starts
It
dancing.
becomes a dance off.
yeah, I remember.
Yep.
That, yeah.
So that'll be my best then. Since,
my God, I hate
the other
you.
one. Okay, so the worst Edge, the spear.
What?
The spear. It doesn't seem like a finisher. It's the exact same reasoning. The leg drop doesn't seem like a finisher. Everyone can do a. Well, not everyone can do a spear. Wrestlers can do a spear, but it doesn't. It doesn't seem like it would be a finishing move. It didn't. When I watched it in the ring, it never felt really built up.
Well, it was funny because it wasn't his original finisher. He had the execution, which was like he'd put him up and then like on his shoulders and drop him.
Right.
No,
right.
that's the electric teardrop. The education was the inverted DDT.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. I know he had a few, but the spear specifically
Okay, not just Edge's spear, but like everyone who does a spear, just
as a
the spear.
finisher, yeah. The spear as a finisher is to me a weak finisher.
Goldberg, Big Show, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
What's her name? The one who used to wrestle AJ all the time. The one that the body.
Caitlyn.
Oh, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, yeah. Like,
So yeah,
They all did.
the spear as a finisher. I only said Edge because that's where I first saw it.
oh, got it.
So,
Okay.
All right.
Tyler?
Favorite maneuver or favorite finishing? It actually came back for like the past 10 years. The Canadian Destroyer.
Man.
I love
That's
that.
such an awesome move. I mean, if you've never seen the guy by the name of P.D. Williams, basically, sets him up for a powerbomb and then does a flip and then just does a sit-down powerbomb.
Pile driver.
Or a pile driver. Pile driver. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. Least favorite finishing move? I wouldn't say it's like official one, but I'll always remember from the old wrestling games is the flare flop. Which is just like, he hits the guy and then he hits like you hit him and then he hits you back and then he just flops on the ground.
Here's a fun story. Because of the flare flop, I used to play WCW NWO Revenge all the time, right? But I would always do the cruiserweight matches because that was the reason why I would play. For the longest time, I thought Hogan's finishing move was the flare
too.
flop. Yeah, I didn't even know he did a leg drop until he came back in
Which is funny because
2002.
it's like you grab him and then he does the flare flop. I'm like, why is Hogan doing the flare flop when he should be doing the leg drop? So yeah. That.
All right. Wow, this is going to be weird then.
What's up?
All right. So my favorite finisher is the bionic elbow.
All right. Definitely.
Because I love Dusty Rhodes. And it's just, it always looks so real. And it's not even always a finisher. He'll just like do them throughout the match a bunch. Bionic elbow is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. My least favorite finisher, I have two answers. I'm gonna go with one answer first and the controversial one second. My first answer is the Von Erich Claw.
Oh yeah.
The Von Erich Claw is where you put your hand on top of someone's head and squeeze.
Oh yeah, that's weak.
And my controversial answer is the Canadian Destroyer. Because it's the one move in the world of wrestling I cannot suspend disbelief of, because you need your opponent's help to do that.
That's true.
Like
You
they need to know how to do a backflip
But
in
it's
order
so awesome to see.
When I first saw it, I agreed. It was a really cool spectacle, but as I saw it more and more, it was just like, just imagining him going like, so backflip now.
That's it. But the Von Erich Claw, I mean, I remember I was watching that documentary about, the history of WCCW on Netflix, where it was...
Keep talking.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is for DeMarcus.
I'm sorry, but what it was it was supposed to be his thumb and his pinky grabbing like whatever the temple here.
Oh, and the reason I decided that wasn't my least favorite is because it was put in the hands, of someone who made it intentionally ridiculous, which was Kurgan. He did the Kurgan Claw, where he did the finisher and just went, Kurgan! 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 Kurgan!
But
Lord.
yeah, like I always saw that claw, and I just was like, really? I mean, you're not really doing anything. You're just squeezing this dude's head. You're not really even really doing anything.
Okay, so Brad has supplied us all with video of the Sin Cara Hurricane Rana driver finisher. It is pretty cool, but none of us had ever seen it before.
Yeah. That was new to me.
Maybe main event or Saturday morning
it
slam
was-
or something.
They also
It wasn't
called
Saturday Morning Slam. You couldn't drop anyone on your head.
That's
in
true.
that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they also called it the Hurricane Rana head smash. So
All right.
I don't know.
So that's favorite and least favorite finishers.
Cool.
So we're gonna move on to the funniest terrible angle in wrestling.
Man. The funniest terrible angle?
Just like angle, story, anything. Just something like
Oh, man.
so hilariously bad that it sticks with you.
Oh, God. So, the first thing that came to my mind was Little People's Court. To explain Little People's Court. This is what
Do you
happened.
need to?
Okay, so D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, like the newer
New
version of
DX,
it.
yeah.
Yep, they were having fun being DX again. It was a lot more tame because Shawn Michaels is a born again Christian now, but it was still really funny.
Yeah.
There is a dwarf wrestler named Hornswoggle. His gimmick was he was a leprechaun for Finley, and then after Finley left, he just kind of
Stayed around.
Yeah, so
You still need
His
to.
original name before WWE became TVPG was Little Bastard.
yeah.
We
but
still need you for some reason.
Before, Hornswoggle was a DX fan, and every week he would always try to go up to DX and, try to be a DX member. At this point, he couldn't talk, so you just heard a little dwarf man go, ah, 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 ah. Like, oh, okay, so you want to be a DX member. Okay, cool. Just week after week after week, they said no. And then one week, they say, okay, you're a DX member. Fine, we'll let you be a DX member. We'll let you come in the ring. We'll let you do our signature, our signature taunts and everything. And at the very end of the signature taunt, Triple H pedigrees him, uses his finisher on this little dwarf man.
and to our
And it was
accounts-
supposed to be kind of like heartbreaking to the people viewing it.
Yes.
We all laughed so
This
fucking
is-
We
hard.
actually, no lie, we all stood up and started clapping at the TV when it happened. I was there, you were there, you were there, you were there, you were there. No, but
That's how horrible you are.
the next week, it has been found out that Hornswoggle decided to sue D-Generation X at Little People's Court.
So DX was issued a summons by a midget.
So it turns out that Little People's Court is located underneath the ring. You go underneath the ring, you turn on the lights, and you're in a hallway. And then you go into the room where there's a dwarf judge, a dwarf jury, a dwarf bailiff, Hornswoggle's there, and none of them can talk, so it's just a bunch of and it's just like, oh, okay, well, the little people don't agree with DX. Let Hornswoggle be the team. They
Okay,
said,
the other thing I remember about this is he got the summons, and it was supposed to be for next week. But they kept putting off Little People's Court. They
yeah.
put it off by 2 weeks.
That's true. No, and here's the weird thing. At the very end of the episode, too, it's just like, okay, we got sued, but we're going to wrestle anyway, right? So they start wrestling their match, and they start losing. D-Generation X starts losing. Oh, no, what's going to happen? And in order to help out DX, Hornswoggle comes out, looks to the back, and signals out to people. And everyone who was at Little People's Court was wearing a DX shirt, and they're all just parading down to the ring to help them out. So just imagine DX and a dozen dwarfs. I was watching this, and I just feel like I want to hate this, but it's just so surreal. I can't. Little People's Court.
Oh, the one that came to my mind immediately was Mark Henry and Mae
God.
Young.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, they did a book once that was not just a wrestling book. They did a book about the worst moments in television history, and this made it.
So, Mark Henry, back in the day, used to be known as Sexual Chocolate. And, this was around the time when he was still kind of doing that. They weren't taking him that seriously, but he was kind of a comedy actor at that point.
And the rumor was that Vince McMahon, he signed like an ironclad contract, but Vince McMahon was trying to embarrass him to get him to quit. So he involved him in all sorts of angles. Like, I think before this was the angle with Sammy.
Yep.
Where he had been hitting on China, but China instead puts him on a date with her friend Sammy, which led to, and he and Sammy were getting kind of down and dirty.
Which is one of my favorite Mark Henry lines coming up ever.
You want to do it?
Was Sammy a guy or
like,
girl?
He's like making out with this chick, and then he goes,
Sammy
and he just
appeared to be a woman.
Okay.
And all of a sudden he just, oh Jesus, you got a penis. And Sammy proceeds to remove the red wig and has short blonde hair, and it's a dude.
Oh, geez.
And it's a dude. So, keep going about the Mark Henry Mae Young story.
So, at this time, Mark Henry, they decide to have Mark Henry start dating Mae Young. Mae
Young, if you do not know, is an elderly woman.
Yes.
She is a old school wrestling legend for female wrestling, an icon.
Yes.
But she was about 80 at the time of this angle.
I think so. Yeah. She was like way past her prime.
The storyline was that Mark Henry and Mae Young were in a romantic relationship.
Yes.
And around the time, and then she announced that she was pregnant.
Right. And,
So fast forward to the big day.
She's pregnant. She's going to give birth. And lo and behold, she gives birth to a hand.
A human hand.
A fully grown human hand covered in, like, fake goop.
So it was like Vaseline or something.
Yeah.
And you watch it and you're just like, what the fuck?
And I'm glad that during the Raw 1000th episode,
They did the 1000th episode of Raw, and Mae Young was on it. She recently passed away. But Mae Young was on there, and it was introducing her son to everyone, and they had a adult male dressed up in a hand costume. It's like, hey, how's it going?
Hey, remember I was born on the show.
So, yeah.
Thank you, writers. Thank you.
I'm just, whenever I think of, Best Bad, I'm just like, oh, Lord.
All right.
Hand.
Brad, this is the best part of this whole podcast so far.
I'm so unprepared for this. I honestly, it's probably the one I already mentioned, Santina. I really loved that angle. That was extremely amusing to me.
It's the fun thing about that angle, as terrible as an idea it is, it's been done before.
In like so many sitcoms and stuff like that.
In wrestling.
Yeah.
Harvey Whippleman.
Yep.
Harvey Whippleman was a wrestling manager, and they debuted a new female wrestler, Harvina.
Yeah, no, when you said the question, that was the first thing that came to mind, and I was like, no, I already talked about that. I'm gonna Google the worst storylines just to see, and I saw something about giving birth to a hand, and I saw something about somebody getting thrown into the back of a car and two dudes and. I don't know what.
Are you on the right site?
Not enough eye bleach. Yeah, it was something about Triple H and Kane.
Oh. That's mine.
So we'll keep it on the down low for now.
Okay.
Second O.
So, Santina. I loved that.
Have you ever seen the end of Santina?
Yeah, I think I actually...
The green screen thing?
Okay, no.
Oh, so what happens is, I think Donald Trump was hosting that night, right? And Santina's like, oh, I'm so glad to meet you, Donald Trump. I'm Santina, blah, 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 blah. After a small conversation, Donald Trump just looks at her and just goes, you're fired. And she gets really sad.
and then she exit like screen left, right?
And then Santino enters screen right.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's just like, what?
So
The kids are
in
confused?
WWE canon, they were separate people.
beautiful. Beautiful.
But when we talk about terrible angles, I have to bring up Katie Vick.
That was on the list too.
That was the one
That's
you're
what we're
talking
talking
about.
about. The
Kane
Triple H and
Triple
Kane.
H.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That is by far the worst storyline ever.
And I still find it so funny. You were supposed to pick something that was terrible, but you liked.
Oh, terrible that I liked? Then, oh man. Yeah, come back to me, I'll think of something. But go with Katie Vick.
It is the most reviled storyline in wrestling history. But the more I think about it, the funnier it is. Now, so, Triple H was feuding with Kane. Kane is the big red monster, and he wore a mask because apparently his face was burned when he was a child. So he's the Phantom of the Opera, essentially, only he's a big, angry dude.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
So, Triple H started making these vague accusations towards Kane. He'd bring up, tell them about Katie. Tell them about Katie Vick.
Oh, yeah.
So he, and as the accusations stacked, he was implying that Kane had a crush on this girl named Katie Vick, and she had a crush back, and they got in a car accident, and Katie died. Right off the bat, not a thing you should make fun of. Here's where it gets hilarious. He then started to subtly imply, not subtly, actually, he started to imply
Blatantly.
that even after she died, Kane had sex with her. And then the next week, he claimed he had footage.
I remember this, yes.
And the footage was at the funeral, a stuffed mannequin dressed like a cheerleader, and Triple H wearing a Kane mask.
And Kane's shirt.
And Kane shirt.
Yeah.
And it was all like shtick, essentially. Like there's one part. He's like, oh, so you want another go? And he strips and gets on top of the mannequin and starts humping it. And then he reaches down and has like a handful of meat. He's like, oh no! I literally humped your brains out!
But you know the backstory about that, right?
No.
Like, so I was watching something where Triple H was getting interviewed on a radio station, and they're like, what's the worst thing you've ever done in wrestling? He's like, Katie Vick, hands down. And they're like, well, what's that about? And he explained, like Alan just said he explained it. He goes, well, we filmed it in a funeral home.
A literal one?
Yeah,
Like an actual
yeah.
I've heard this.
And so it's him and Vince and the film crew. And so Vince is yelling at him like, hump harder, damn it! Da, 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 da. And
His father-in-law.
yeah. And here's the kicker. There was actually a funeral going on in the next room.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they had a minute.
Ashes
Oh,
to
yeah,
ashes,
this is
dust to
the
dust.
Triple H documentary.
I found this on like a radio interview. Like,
Okay,
on YouTube
I
or
think I
something.
saw the same thing on the Triple H documentary.
Yeah, but like they had the guy somebody come in like, hey, we're having a funeral service in here. Would you mind keeping it down? Please.
I love it so much!
No, and then shortly afterwards, they sold the Katie Vick mannequin on
Yes,
eBay.
the guys from WrestleCrap bought it.
Oh.
Okay. So the end of the story is what?
Isn't it Kane getting demasked?
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
guess.
what kind of leads to, but I mean,
I know it
they
kinda
really didn't finish it.
I don't really know how the storyline ended. That was kind.
Yeah,
It kind of
well,
hit a
that-
kind of hit a climax
That wasn't important.
with Triple H humping a mannequin at a funeral.
Oh, that was Triple H.
So, but so I thought of my favorite worst, story.
Yeah.
Perry Saturn, great wrestler, was with the Eliminators in ECW. So they did a gimmick where Saturn just goes
Crazy.
and just loses his mind, but not good, insane loses his mind, just goes goofy. And starts carrying around a mop. with a face on it called Moppy.
Oh, yeah.
And his catchphrase for a while was just, "You're welcome." Yeah. And would have just like random saying like, "The elephants eat peanuts at the zoo while they're doing something." Or just like something really random like, "Dishwashers were made on Mars, and that's where the Martians are from." Or it's just something random lines to the point where it like had ended with Moppy getting thrown in a woodchuck by Raven or something like that. But yeah, that's my favorite work is Saturn becoming just insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Moppy was pretty hilarious.
Moppy!
I remember
All right.
Moppy.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Here. This is what I was referencing because this is what I wanted you to explain to me. I found this. It says this is the start of this paragraph in the Katie Vick thing. It says what followed was a strange move with Kane attacking Triple H, throwing him in the back of a car, and declaring, "quote Now I am going to screw you."
I don't remember that, but the story's just getting better now.
Man.
Kane did that to Triple H?
Unless this is some bizarre fanfic.
It's the weirdest place to start. Yeah.
I'm reading the detailed description of the angle. Yes, Triple H reenacts the sex scene between Kane and Katie Vick. Brilliant does not begin to describe how awesome this video is.
So I have this continues. It says, okay, so now I'm going to screw you. After that, we got such classic promos as the Hurricane showing us a man in various Triple H masks getting enemas. Lots of enema stuff on this list. Thanks, Vinnie Mac. Eventually, the two had a casket match. Nice. And Triple H went on to feud with Shawn Michaels.
I'm just like, yeah, let's cancel.
Let's drop it.
This was after Triple H retained his title at No Mercy. Literally had no reason to destroy Kane except to ruin a happiness that Kane had long since forgotten. Still, it's a compelling interview where Triple H uses many puns with dead involved and accuses Kane of having a burnt wiener.
Wiener jokes are fun.
Oh, wiener.
All right.
Family entertainment.
Do we have any other topics? Or do we want to cut it there?
What about best match? Favorite match?
Best match is a good one.
Okay.
We could do like best match and worst match at the same time.
Yes. Best match, worst match. Go.
Okay.
Oh, man, I have a tie for two right now. I mean, the one match that got me back into wrestling, because I didn't watch it for a really long time, but the one match that got me back into wrestling was Hogan versus Rock at WrestleMania 18.
Yeah.
Just the amount of, like, fandom there was there, you know. It's like a legend fighting against, you know, one of the top guys at the company. It was just mind-boggling to watch. You know, does Hogan still have it? Like, does The Rock have the guts to take on his, you know, his icon? It was just awesome. But favorite match of all time, like even as a wrestling fan, is Shawn Michaels Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Sorry, but it's one of the best in-ring stories I've seen ever. Like, these guys are throwing finishers and kicking out of every single one. It's just
so good.
That's one of those matches you need to watch if you're not a wrestling fan and you want to get into wrestling or try to experience how wrestling can, you know, give people emotions.
Right.
That.
DeMarcus.
Oh, my
worst match. Sorry.
Oh, God. My worst match is, it wasn't really even a match. It was, forgive me if I steal someone's answer, but I don't remember what pay-per-view it was. It was a TNA pay-per-view where it was supposed to be Jeff Hardy versus Sting.
Oh, that was my answer!
Are you, what?
No! It's Sting, Jeff Hardy, 2011 Road to Victory. I wrote it down.
Okay, so what happens was...
You and your notes. I have them too.
So, Sting was supposed to fight Jeff Hardy. Sting goes out in the ring, ready to fight Jeff Hardy. I don't know. I don't remember if it was for the title or not, but it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And then Jeff Hardy comes out, and he is sluggish, and he is high and as drugged up as you can see. Like, he gets in the ring after not really 30 minutes, but just a long ass time of just walking down the ring. They don't really wrestle that much. I mean, it's just Jeff Hardy taunting, I'm Jeff Hardy. At one point, Eric Bischoff comes out to the ring and tries to make like a small storyline out of it. I don't remember what he says, but he addresses the crowd he's like, no one wants to see you fight, Jeff Hardy. No one wants to see anything. And he whispers something in Jeff's ear. Jeff whispers something in his ear. And they go on with it. Blah, 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 blah.
And then Jeff gets rolled up and pinned.
No, it wasn't rolled up. He gets Scorpion Death dropped, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Sting
Yeah.
just
Well,
puts him in a Scorpion Death drop, drops him.
Deathlock.
Pins him.
Oh, wait.
Death-
Was it the lock or?
the drop was
Drop.
the reverse dropping
Because
DDT.
Oh, yeah.
Bischoff even went to Sting and like, this is how we're gonna end it.
Yeah. So they ended it like that, and everyone's upset. Sting's upset. The crowd's upset. Bischoff's upset. So when Sting's walking back to the entrance, everyone's chanting like bullshit, bullshit, or something. And you can watch Sting. Sting looks at the crowd and just goes, I know. And just walks away. And that's the end of the pay-per-view. And that's my answer.
I honestly can't pinpoint one on either of these right now. I'm trying to run through matches in my head, and I just can't pinpoint one that stands out as like my favorite. I don't know, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pass this. Because I can't think of one at all. Like,
Well, it's like picking your favorite kid.
yeah,
Like, as I was even thinking this, it's
Yeah.
like, man, how do you pick a favorite match?
like I can't like
Your
pinpoint.
favorite match is Melina versus Alicia Fox.
Yes,
The end.
pass.
Or just say you can say
No least favorite?
I have to pass on both of those. To be
Wow.
honest.
Not even one. You can't say one match that you absolutely loved and
I
one that you
can't
absolutely hated.
even pinpoint. I can't even think of matches
Patterson
names
versus
right
Jericho.
now. Yeah.
The Rock versus Stone Cold at either WrestleManias.
I'm just gonna pass.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
Brad.
Okay, favorite 2011 41-man Royal Rumble.
Oh,
40. Yeah.
40, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that was legit. That was one of my favorite.
Oh, Santina almost won that one too.
And you fucking took my Sting Jeff Hardy one. So probably anything with Festus and Kali. did Festus ever fight Kali? Because that.
I don't know, maybe.
Because that.
Maybe.
Then Festus went legit and became awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he became Luke Gallows.
All right.
Shit cattle!
Punch him in the balls.
All right. So I could pick so many favorite matches, but I think I'm going to pick one just because I was there and I experienced it. I still think my favorite match to this day is Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk.
Nice.
The first time
That's-
I was there as well.
Oh, yeah.
It
we
was
were.
the first time they ever faced each other in the WWE. And we were
And it was
there.
in Kansas City. And, like, the best thing, like, I was so iffy on going to that Raw. I'm like, I've got a ticket. I'm going to go by myself. I don't know about it. And then, like, I got there and I was up at the ramp. Like, on the camera side, like, I, like, gave people high fives and stuff and, like, patted John Cena on the back when he got slammed by Kane. But, like,
Nice.
it's so awesome to see your two favorite wrestlers finally fight that were fought at the Independence, and you're seeing it live for the first time, which led to, like, more fights and more better matches. Least favorite match of all time, the Dog Kennel from Hell.
Kennel from Hell. Awesome.
Which is also, like, one of the best, worst
It's another
storylines as well.
great, terrible storyline.
Like, long story short, a guy by the name of Al Snow, like, he had this weird thing called, he had, like, head, because the whole thing
Yes.
was, like, you need to get ahead in life or get ahead in wrestling, so he got a mannequin head. Well,
that he talked to.
Yeah.
And was his girlfriend.
So
Yes.
he replaced it at the time with a dog named Pepper, which was a Chihuahua. And he was feuding with the Big Boss Man at the time, who then captured Pepper.
Big Boss Man was on this hot streak of doing the like
like
the most
the
terrible
worst
things.
things, yeah.
Like, dragged a coffin at Big
Like
Show's father's
in
funeral.
the late '80s, early '90s, his gimmick was that he was a cop and he
Yeah.
was a good guy, and that was it.
Dude,
And
oh,
as we approached the '90s Attitude Era, he had like SWAT tack gear and swung around a nightstick, and did the worst things ever to people. Like Big Show's dad died, and he showed up at his funeral and tied a chain to the coffin and drove off with it.
And, like, had this, like, the Blues Brothers mobile with the big, like, megaphone on it and everything. But yeah, like, so he captures Pepper, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna give it back to you, Al Snow. Just meet me at my hotel room, and I'll give you back the dog. So then Al Snow meets him at the hotel room, and he's like, well, here, I've got some food for you. I'm gonna, here it is. And so Al Snow's like, oh, this is really good. He's like, yeah? He's like, yeah, this is really good. Really? Because, it's your dog, Pepper. And Al Snow's like, whoa, no! And, you know, he's like, I'm feeding your dog, and you're da-da-da. So this all leads to this...
Tim.
Yeah. This all leads to a match called the Kennel from Hell, which basically...
On paper, sounded really cool, too.
Yeah.
So basically what it was is a steel cage, and then surrounded by the Hell in the Cell structure, which is just a big, you know, other cage with a roof, and then had, you know, ravenous dogs around it, which, when you look back at the footage, the dogs were, like, humping each other and peeing on the floor.
Okay. The dogs started pissing and shitting. They were not vicious. Like, when they would, like, go outside of the ring, they had, like, guys trying to make the dogs be vicious, and they just weren't into it.
There was one point where, like, Al Snow would take Bossman's arm and just, like, put it outside of the ropes, and you just see a trainer, like, that's like, go bite him, go bite him, go bite him. The dog's just like,
Pee. The dogs were pissing and shitting
And
and
which is
humping
sad,
each
'cause
other.
both of those guys are great wrestlers. That match, not so much.
So,
Actually-
a fun ending to this story is, Mick Foley had a DVD, and I don't remember which one it is. And Mick Foley has a long-running thing where he makes fun of Al Snow. Like, there's a really subtle joke in one of his books, too, where he's like, I got off the toilet and wiped my Sarvin. And if you look it up, that's Al Snow's real last name. But, on the Mick Foley DVD, there was like a hidden feature, which was the Kennel from Hell match with Mick Foley and Joey Styles, who's one of the greatest announcers of all, greatest commentary guys of all time.
No way, this is actually...
They're doing commentary like it's Flair's Steamboat, like it's the most brilliant match, like it's the most brilliant match they've ever watched in their entire life.
is this like an Easter egg on the DVD? Like,
I
you
think
have to search
it's on one of the DVD. I can't remember exactly which DVD it is, but it's an Easter egg.
That makes it just 10 times better.
I thought of a worse match. Just thinking about that one. And it's not even a WWF or WWE. It was a TNA match.
Yep, I know exactly what you're going to say. It was one of my picks, but I chose something else.
I don't even know the name of them, but like...
Are you talking about Sharmell versus Jenna Maraska?
No, I was talking about like...
Oh, man.
keep that. You keep that answer. If that
I was talking
yours.
about like where everybody was trying to climb out the big butthole. Of the
Okay, I know exactly what he's talking about.
A big butthole.
That's what
Okay.
Alan always calls it that.
Wait,
So, it was the first night where...
the cage.
Yeah, the big stupid orange cage.
Yeah, the stupidest cage ever.
And TNA, they decided they were going to go head-to-head with Monday Night Raw. And everyone was like, oh, it's the new Monday Night Wars. And TNA was trying to pull out all the stops to, like, beat the WWE in the Monday Night Wars. So they had this cage match, but the cage was a big orange cage with a dome on top. And you had to escape the cage to win. The cage surrounded the ring, there was a dome on top, and a tiny hole in the middle of the dome.
Yes.
Which I called the escape butthole. So, as the match progressed, they started to realize how fucking impossible it was to get out of this. Because you essentially had to climb to the cage and monkey bar upwards on a domed surface,
Like
and then
diagonal.
try and, like, matrix your way out of this tiny hole in the center.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Homicide who got to the
Homicide
top.
won.
Like, he got to the top, or someone fell. I thought they did something and they fell.
So, Homicide was supposed to win the match.
There was no winner.
I don't
Yeah,
think
because
there
Jeff
was
Hardy
one.
came in, yeah?
Yeah,
They just
that's what
ended
happened. But no, he was trying to get out, and they were trying to show him getting out. But it was so awkward, because he couldn't do it. He was trying to get out, and, like, everyone else was in the match was kind of, like, pretending to still be, like, laying down, and they were kind of looking around like, what the fuck do we do?
No, here's how it ended. I can't remember his name. It was just a Japanese wrestler. Someone just threw a crowbar into the dome, hits a guy, and the match ends in disqualification.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like,
I think that's
there's
the first
no
time.
way to get out.
That's the
of
first time you can never get DQ'd in a cage match. I think that was the first time it's ever happened.
They were like,
That is a good pick,
yeah,
Demarcus.
I totally thought about that one.
So I have two picks for my worst match, but my best match is a simple enough answer. Anytime, and I just even mentioned it, anytime Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat got in the ring. Either that or Steamboat Savage.
Yep.
And three, yep.
At WrestleMania 3 is such an amazing. That's the It's considered by many to be the standard by which WrestleMania matches must be judged. But my worst, those aren't as interesting as my worst matches. The one I mentioned, which was Sharmell versus Jenna Maraska. Sharmell is not really a wrestler.
No, she's just married to Booker T. Manager, yeah.
She was a Nitro girl on WCW.
Yep.
And she was married to Booker T and was his manager. Jenna Maraska was a contestant on Survivor. And I think she did Playboy or something.
Yep. Something like that,
Yeah.
And they signed her to a TNA contract despite the fact that she had never wrestled a single time. So it was a not wrestler fighting a not wrestler. And I think that Jenna Maraska's finisher was a series of terrible slaps. And I cannot do this match justice talking about it. Look it up. Sharmell versus Jenna Maraska. TNA.
I think it was Turning Point.
Yes, it might have been. Anyway, my other worst match, and I'm not a very religious man, and I was insulted by this. Shawn Michaels, we mentioned earlier, became a born-again Christian.
Oh, I can't believe you're gonna do this one.
Oh.
This is a horrible match.
And on screen, Vince McMahon would openly mock him for this fact, because Vince McMahon was a bad guy. So he was like, you got your faith in God, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to book a tag team match. Me and my son Shane against you and God. And they gave God entrance music that was all holy and had a spotlight go down the ring on nothing.
Yes, look at the nothing.
Now, the only way this angle would have worked is if Shawn Michaels won. But he didn't.
Right.
Vince McMahon booked himself to beat God and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's...
So that's freaking awful.
It hurt. As a Christian, that hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, it took me a really long time, but I think I figured out who I was talking about earlier. Eric Young,
Oh.
the guy that was twitchy at everything, right?
Yeah,
His
don't
sister
fire
and
Eric.
Techniques and everything.
Don't fire Eric.
I don't remember Eric Young.
He was on TNA. He had a big beard.
Oh.
Now, I have another funniest worst angle. We're gonna come back to it because I'm gonna bring it up. But now we've arrived at the trivia.
Okay. At the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
This is like an extended kind of Lord of the Rings.
Brad and I are tag teaming. Get it? Tag teaming on trivia.
Wrestle.
So, and for the first time, we're involving a special guest in the trivia.
Yay!
Another first for the podcast.
We are awesome.
We are innovative.
Now, Alan, is he exempt from the punishment?
No, he is not.
So
Alan, does he know what the punishment is?
No, he does not.
Oh,
None of us do.
beautiful. Alan, does he even know examples of previous punishments?
Probably not.
oh god damn it, guys! Oh.
It's okay. We are.
yeah.
You're against all of.
Do we
we're
even know what the
straight.
punishment is?
Not yet.
We're still alive, so it's good. You'll be fine.
I had to do a punishment last week. It was pretty harsh.
Yeah.
This guy came up with it.
Me and Alan
Thank you.
had to do a punishment.
I was worried that was going to be too middle school.
No, it
for
was
you
good.
guys.
It was good.
Thank you.
All right.
It was a stream.
So would you like to start or shall I? You start because you have, I think, one more question than I do.
Okay, sure.
Sean goes first.
What? I'm always first.
Which wrestler was the... Oh, wait. Yeah, Sean's first?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Which wrestler was the only wrestler to win and lose the same title at the same WrestleMania? This, of course, excludes the multiple hardcore title matches at WrestleMania 18.
Oh, 18.
So it's not 18.
It's not 18? Oh, I was gonna say
It's not the hardcore title match at 18.
Yeah,
That's
it's
one of
the
my-
only wrestler to win and lose the same title at the same WrestleMania. Small.
Oh, no, that was Yokozuna.
It was Yokozuna.
Yay! I don't know why that was so hard.
That was
1 point for Sean.
WrestleMania 9.
Yep, and then Hogan comes out of nowhere. Hooray! America!
Shit.
All right.
I already know I'm gonna fucking lose this.
DeMarcus,
Yes.
name 4 members of the Dungeon of Doom.
See these motherfuckers.
Everyone else in the room.
Now, remember when I was saying my favorite worst angles earlier and I was saving one? I was saving it because I knew this was part of the trivia.
Oh, damn it. Dungeon of Doom.
Gladys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Call back.
You cannot steal.
Fuck. Owen Hart.
No.
way off.
The sad disdain with which you all said no.
Okay. I will allow... do you give up?
It's a 3 out of 4.
The junkyard dog.
No, I'm saying name 4 members. There was more.
Oh, wow.
Junkyard dog.
Okay.
No. All right.
Penn and Teller.
No, I'm giving it... One of you guys?
I'll take it. Okay, I can name basically all. Okay, Kamala,
Yes.
the Shark, who used
Yes.
to be Earthquake, the Zodiac, Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, and the Giant. And there should be one
And
more.
Hugh Morris.
Oh, yeah, Hugh Morris
Are we
and Ming.
Yep.
Meng
Are
was
we
there.
keeping track?
King Ming?
Money? I mean, are we keeping track of?
I am keeping track.
Points?
Yes,
Yes.
DeMarcus. You have none points.
So yeah, Ming, the Shark, the Zodiac,
And he
Kevin
doesn't-
Sullivan, Taskmaster,
he
the
doesn't get
Giant,
points for
and
that,
Hugh
though.
Morris.
No, he does not.
Good.
Tyler also has.
Where am I?
So the Dungeon of Doom
This water's not hot.
was an angle created specifically to make Hulk Hogan look good. So they were united against Hulkamania when Hulk Hogan came into WCW. If one of my favorite wrestling segments of all time was Hulk Hogan finding the lair of the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh
Which
yeah,
he
I
had his
remember.
Where am I? I've never been here before. He reaches out to touch a spring of water and goes, "Ah! It's not hot!"
Okay, going back to Mick Foley, he used to, when like he was wrestling in ECW, the reason why he would try to get heat is he would wear a Dungeon of Doom
Yes,
shirt.
he was a bad guy in
Yeah.
ECW, and he sold it by wearing a Dungeon of Doom t-shirt. All right,
All right, Tyler.
it is Tyler's turn.
Does he get a point for that question? There's no stealing, right?
No stealing.
No stealing.
Swiper, no swiping.
Okay. Tyler,
What's up?
within 15. Oh, I shouldn't have started the question like that. Sorry. Kane holds the record for the most WWE matches competed in. Within 15, how many matches has he competed in? I'm giving you some wiggle room so you can say a number.
So within 15,
Within
like,
15.
but is it like a gimmick match?
How many matches has Kane had?
All together.
With the WWE.
And he's
You have 15. You have 15 points of wiggle room.
Yeah.
Yeah, in either direction. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna let him know, like, warmer, colder, closer, farther?
I'll give him 3 attempts?
3 attempts.
Okay.
3
Yes.
attempts.
3 attempts.
Well, he's in the 100 club of winning over 100 wins.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with over. I'm gonna go 250.
That is cold.
Okay.
This is oh, I pulled this straight off of the WWE website too.
Okay.
It seemed unrealistic when I wrote it down.
So, if that's really cold, I'm gonna go with. Let's see, 2,000.
Cold in the other direction.
Fudge.
So somewhere between
250
and
and 200. Man, that's hard. Let's go with. Just probably. Let's go with 666 since he's a demon. No.
898.
All right.
Damn.
2 matches away from
Sean.
100. Yes.
According to his figures, How much of a chance does Scott Steiner have to win at Sacrifice?
Okay, so
Oh, shit.
with
Yeah,
each person, they get 33 and a third chance of winning. But with Scott Steiner, he gets 66 and 2/3 chance of winning.
That's calculated for a singles match.
What?
At Sacrifice, remember, he calculates it differently and comes up with an ending figure.
Oh my gosh, I just watched this the other
In a
day.
triple threat match, what math does Steiner figure he has?
110%. I can't remember at all.
It is 141 and 2/3%.
I would have been close on that.
So Sean is still in the lead with 1 point.
Yay.
All right.
DeMarcus turn.
DeMarcus.
Turn.
Damakatone.
Damakatone.
Yay, Damakatone.
I'm hungry!
Which 14-time WCW and WAWF World... Why did I say NWA?
Say that again?
Which 14-time WCW NWO WWF World Champ who trained by Vern Gagne... Did I say that right? Gagne, excuse me, and Billy Robinson guest starred on Baywatch.
Okay. 14 time?
I'll give you a hint. The Baywatch thing's a red herring. Who was a 14-time WCW and WWF World Champ?
NW. I mean,
I think your figures are off.
NWO.
You mean NWA?
Okay, that's what I had
okay.
that written down.
NWA.
NWA, yeah. WCW, NWA, WWF. World Champ. 14 times. I think that's combined through companies. Is that...
It's 16.
16.
Oh, that makes it easier.
Ric Flair.
That is Ric
Okay.
Flair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I had
14.
to correct your math there.
Thank you.
Okay. Ric Flair.
Marcus has a point with Ric Flair.
Yay.
I apologize for the...
It's all
and
right.
thank you for catching that.
I was like,
How
16,
dare
No problem.
14.
I was hoping you were going to go with, like, the one time that they rebooted The Love Boat and Kevin Nash and Goldberg were on there. Just pulled that one out of my ass.
I should have made this a higher number. I'm going to make it a higher number because it's you. Name 4 wrestling superheroes.
Name 4 wrestling superheroes.
Yes.
Blue Blazer. Super Eric. Arachnaman.
You're giving me some weird ass answers.
And the Hurricane.
But you're right.
Wow.
Yay, we're all tied up.
Didn't even give me Rosie. Didn't even give me... There's another obvious one.
Damn it, I don't want to lose, so I was just going with that.
The Hurricane was the number one for me.
That was the obvious one.
Yeah.
That was going to be the one.
Arachnaman.
Arachnaman.
A just purple and yellow Spider-Man.
All right. Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pick which one of these. That one's a little obscure.
So you're all tied for 1 now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Which WCW and WO wrestler attended the University of Florida on a football scholarship, was the youngest man to serve in the Canadian Football League, and was a Green Bay Packers reserve that never played a game?
He was WCW
NWO, yeah.
and he was at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And he played Canadian football.
Do you mean Florida State?
University of Florida.
University of Florida. Okay.
If it's The Rock, I'll punch you because that's not right.
It's not The Rock.
Okay, that was The Rock's life pretty much, but
Not in WCW.
yeah. As the
Wait.
judges look at their answer.
Is it...
I knew that. Wow.
Wait,
Okay,
you
good.
said Green Bay Packer, yeah?
Yeah.
Can I try to steal this one, or just
If I
first
can't
shits and
get it.
gigs?
If I can't get it, you can answer it, but you won't get the point. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is it Goldberg?
No, Goldberg played for Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, I did play for Atlanta.
I'll say it because I knew it.
Was it?
It's the total package Lex Luger.
No way, really?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because I was thinking you were thinking Ron Simmons, because Ron Simmons played for Florida State, and then got his number retired. But
I never knew that.
Yep.
DeMarcus.
Yes.
I'm so glad you got this question because I know you don't know it.
God damn you.
And I'm the devil.
Sorry.
Who was under the costume of the gobbledygooker?
Man!
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, this is
Oh,
beautiful.
shit, I've heard you guys say this before.
You know, if he doesn't get this and Tyler doesn't get his next one, then we have to ask more questions because they're tied right now.
We'll have to have a sudden death.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I know
I can give
this.
2 answers for this one.
God damn it, I feel like I know this. IRS.
Nope. No.
Booker T. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
It's Hector Guerrero.
It sure is.
And Maurice, that one time.
Yeah.
Ah. Damn it.
It's okay. We love you.
Marcus is holding steady at 1 point.
So we're all tied at 1?
Yep.
All right.
Outside at 1.
Now, I have to consult with my colleague before I ask this next question. Should I ask this one or this one?
Brought to you by DeMarcus's Voice.
And don't forget, in a couple months, DeMarcus's
All
Penis
right.
Adventures will be in stores.
Which wrestler, WWE wrestler, holds the worst WrestleMania
Big
win-loss
Show.
record?
Holds the worst WrestleMania record.
That would have been my answer, too.
Yeah, because he has the word. Okay.
Worst win-loss record. Worst WrestleMania win-loss record.
I know he's lost the most times at WrestleMania.
This one was also straight from the WWE website. So.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give up on that one.
With a win-loss record of 0-6 Goldust.
Wow.
Oh.
Sudden death. I have some sudden death style questions here.
Dang.
Those are all WWE.
I like the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question. This is going to be... You know what? First person to answer.
Oh, I just figured. Okay.
It won't be a lightning round. This is going to be a... Okay. Highest win percentage in the WWF WWE.
Triple H.
John Cena.
Triple H and John. That's your answer. Hulk Hogan.
All 3 wrong.
Bruno Sammartino.
It is the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh.
With 124 wins, 2 losses, and 13 draws.
Next.
We're gonna edit all the silence. It's gonna be awesome.
Do this one. Who was the youngest person in the WWE to win the World Heavyweight
Brock
Championship?
Lesnar.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
What'd you say?
Randy Orton.
Yeah, it was Brock Lesnar.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 24 years old.
Randy Orton was 23.
No, he wasn't. He was 25, I thought.
Oh,
Or were they both tied? No,
we're
'cause he was-
googling this again. This was straight off WWE website, so if it's old figures,
Shouldn't be.
they're furiously googling right now.
Google.
It's Brock Lesnar. He's right.
Yeah. Who got that?
25
That was
years.
Tyler.
days.
That was Tyler.
Here's our winner, Tyler.
Guest win.
God.
Definitely
I
Brock
swear
Lesnar.
it was Orton.
No, he was the youngest world heavyweight champion
Oh, okay.
at 24.
You.
I hate all of you.
Romantics.
All right.
Oh,
Now we need to think of a punishment for these two.
yes.
Yay, punishment.
Oh, Lord.
The day is mine!
I am so...
That's the best thing about Coffee and Pie.
Sure.
There are no prizes, just punishments.
Now, let me ask, does the punishment have to be something that must be accomplishable here
Yes.
right now?
For entertainment value's sake.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'd really like to see the two of them make a PSA.
Okay. What kind of PSA?
But not right now.
Oh. Well, you know, it could work. Dumb waste of time.
All right.
The suspense is killing me.
The minds of these guys. I think they're trying.
Oh! Oh, it's topical! I love it!
I have neighbors, you know.
Suck it! You lost. I love it. No,
All right.
no, that's great.
I like it. You're going to have to take turns on this one. And I know you have neighbors, so try and keep it down a little.
Please.
But
See what I did there?
I would like
You'll
you
get
to
it
cut
later.
your own version of having sex with Katie Vick.
Oh, God.
There needs to be puns. There needs to be terrible grunting and moaning.
Oh, shit.
It needs to be embarrassing.
Okay.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Oh, God. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is Sean Young of the Coffee and Pie podcast. Fucking a dead girl.
It's okay. She won't complain.
Oh, man. I'm so dead tired. I think I'm just gonna leave my car here and, crash at your place for now. Oh! How are you? What's your name? Oh, from your cheerleading outfit, looks like your name is Katie. Well,
Do they have it?
yeah, so, do they have names on their...
Don't break character. Don't you dare break character.
Never felt so good.
Well, Katie. Just like my favorite wrestler, Triple H. After I bury you, I'm gonna get on top of you.
Oh, shit.
Please, continue.
I gotta think of more puns.
Oh, shit.
Damn it, Sean, fuck this corpse.
I'm gonna embalm you with my penis.
Oh, you didn't lose. You don't have to do this. I'm gonna maul you with my penis isn't even clever.
He
said embalm.
Oh.
Yeah, mauling with a penis wouldn't be clever. Open your goddamn ears.
Come on.
Okay. Well, before we get this on, I'm kind of the romantic type, so I got this bouquet from the people next door. I try to keep it down because there's something going on over there.
Oh, shit.
Oh. I believe we were promised grunting.
I just want to think of more puns. It's actually getting kind of fun.
Damn it. Leave D some.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're going to skip ahead. You are now actively fucking this dead woman.
I'm writing to Marcus a script.
What? That's not fair.
Damn it, Sean.
Not really.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Just like your body, my dick's going through rigor mortis.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
It's okay. You got it.
You have to finish.
I can't think of anything.
What are you going to do, not finish?
Oh, shit.
I hope my family doesn't hear this.
I hope
They
your
probably
family
won't.
does.
Oh, I gotta think of more. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a good noise.
That's a good noise, eventually.
Oh man.
That's not even making a good noise either. Damn. Yeah.
I'm going really fast with this body, yo.
For a dead woman. Quite loose.
How long has she been dead now?
Well, she's embalmed, so
Okay.
so she would kind of be.
You have to finish, bro.
Okay. Rah, rah, sis boom ba, here I go. Ah!
And there you go.
Okay, good. That's enough.
I'm surprised you didn't alright, you can get off of me now. Oh, wait. Can't get off of me.
There was, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Young fucking a dead cheerleader.
Remember, the next time you're going at it, rah, rah, sis boom ba, here it comes. Ah!
So now we move on to DeMarcus.
He's getting writing. He's getting help.
Apparently, Brad is writing me a script. So I guess I'll follow the scripts to what he said.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm just giving you a brief outline of a few puns you can use since you looked lost.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
All right, that should be enough. There you go.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one.
All right.
Oh, Katie. Oh, yeah. I love you.
That's why I read a script.
I'm so stiff, and you are too.
You had a little Arnold
You don't
yodel
have to
there.
be gross about it.
Okay.
Do you really make those noises when you make love, DeMarcus?
Yes. I always wondered, I always ask ladies.
Shut up. Keep going.
All right, here's another one. Oh, yeah, Katie. Oh, shit. Don't give me the cold shoulder. I love your digs.
Stop laughing so much.
This is a tender moment, you insensitive prick.
Oh, Katie, yeah. Put on this cane mask now. That's cracking open the... Let's crack... Yeah. You fuck me so good, Katie. Let's crack open a cold one, bitch. You my whore. That's not Nah. Gotta ad-lib a little bit.
I ad-libbed the entire thing.
Well, now we know that sex with DeMarcus is terrifying.
Here, put on this game mask.
That's standard fare.
Let me see your drop pussy. What is this one say?
What? Whoa! What?
No, that was mine. I've had some bad.
I'm gonna pour some milk all over you, Captain Crunch.
What did that say? What's that say?
I've had some
No, what's this say?
pails. It's
Okay, I get
it's
you.
a play on.
Well, your E's looks like a 3, so I've had some bad lays before. This one pales in comparison.
All right, you gotta finish now. Stop laughing.
Wait, before you finish,
Just give us some more.
just build up to it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, take this warm hot Dickens in your cold, wetless, dryless pussy.
Say that.
That's it. Le petit mort.
Are good. I'll listen to be like, what are they doing?
Say it. Say it.
Le petit mort.
No, say the whole line.
Oh, time for some le petit mort.
Ah,
Finish.
I'm coming all over you, dead ass bitch.
That's the hidden bonus level of DeMarcus's penis adventures.
Things that go bump in the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Coffee and Pie.
And for the second part of the
This is-
podcast, this
ladies
is
and
being
gentlemen.
emailed to your parents.
This has been the final episode of Coffee and Pie. Not really. Oh my god.
Come on, you cannot finish.
David, you have to say it again while the
Just when we think we're alienating our viewers with a wrestling episode, we end the episode with impressions of you two fucking a corpse.
Brubaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
We're applauding ourselves now. Thanks for joining us on Coffee and Pie. Next week's topic is undecided, but we will let you know next time when we actually do it. Everyone, go around the table. Tell everyone what your where they can find you on the interwebs.
I'm on Twitter at SYEUNG22789.
At Defects1, Defects/Facebook.
How do you spell defect, just in case people get confused?
DFFECT.
You can check me out at miltonbradley.wordpress.com. Also look up Cirque du Risque on Facebook.
And you know where to find me. I'm on the Dawn Somewhere website, the Allen Hour, and I do this podcast. I also have some stand-up events coming up, but they're in Kansas City and Overland Park. So if you're from there, figure out where that shit is.
Yeah.
Whenever this
All right.
comes out.
Now for the third time, thanks for joining us for Coffee and Pie. Have a good afternoon, evening, night, day, morning.
We love you.
Yay.